the flames, awaken the power held inside of me, harness resilience through the pain. I'm a warrior.
Self-bio, sleep on checkmate. Are you kidding? Margaret to the rescue. The blade comes out and he shuts it all down in one fell swoop. Absolutely stomping. Oh, what is that? Haven't even got to the bridge. Backbone.
Warrior, I'm a hurricane like Gloria. I won't fail my times now. Rise to glory, won't back down. I take the pain and I let it out. On the mountaintop, shout it out. Break away, let me demonstrate my mentality. Activate. Oh,
Rampage through the side room. Everybody, massive for Bernard. Catches everybody else.
I'm a warrior.
Gonna look to make it happen. And there it is. Proper. Cannot be stopped.
On the mountaintop, shout it out. Break away, let me demonstrate my mentality. Activate.
Good evening and welcome to another day of Overwatch League action. I'm Ilios, joined by Turid, and yeah, well, yesterday was a little bit weird, to say the least, but hopefully today we have some normalcy. That's what we're hoping for. We'll see what happens, though, as we get ready to go into the action. Kicking things off, it is going to be the Chengdu Hunters going up against the Shanghai Dragons.
Yeah, and of course, to close off the week's action, Seth, in the APAC region, we're of course cutting over live to South Korea to watch some on-LAN Overwatch League between the Seoul Dynasty and the Philadelphia Fusion. So a nice little treat there to close off the week. Of course, our first game up, the Chengdu Hunters versus the Shanghai Dragons. Shanghai Dragons, of course, securing their spot in the playoffs. Hunters, of course, will be going through the play-ins as we head into the postseason. Not much is going to change from this series, but of course, it's another opportunity to get reps in and prove some confidence before you head into the postseason.
Yeah, and it could be some damn good fun. We'll have to just wait and see, what happens. We saw the Fusion be able to take down the Chengdu Hunters just yesterday. 3-1 victory for them. First time that they were able to best the Hunters this season. So now a 1-3 record overall for them. Shanghai Dragons, though, continuing to look more and more terrifying as time has gone on. Really, really rocky start to the Countdown Cup qualifier, but now are very much looking like they are back in form. Here's the standings at the moment, and not too much is going to change overall. As you can see, Chengdu Hunters maybe an opportunity to be able to retake a position over the Guangzhou Charge. The fact that they've actually fallen below the Guangzhou Charge is so bizarre, because if you told me at the very beginning of the year that this was going to be what we were seeing as we get ready to round things out towards the playoffs, I would have called you a liar, man. I would have said there's no way in hell that that's going to be possible. But here we are. This is the world that we live in.
Yeah, so an opportunity to do it. I think their map differential will actually... No, it doesn't even matter because they'll have 10 wins, so they'll be above the charge. Map differential doesn't even come into it, Seth. So you are right. Hunters are going to be able to potentially retake that spot if they have an absolutely amazing performance against the Dragons today. As you already highlighted, yeah, they've started to have a little bit of return to form despite having a shaky start at the beginning of the Countdown Cup. Dominant performance yesterday, but let's take a look at that starting lineup for the Chengdu Hunters up first. Who are they going to be rolling out with? I believe it's going to be the same as yesterday. They're going to be starting with Dynasty, which is a bit of a conundrum.
Yeah, one of the things that we saw a hell of a lot of yesterday, aside from just the C9s that were going on in pretty much every single series, was a lot of Dynasty. We only got to see Gaga for, I believe, the one map. It was the one map that Chengdu were able to take away from the Fusion, but seems like Chengdu Hunters believing a bit more in Dynasty, given that this is a much more off-tank centric meta that we're in right now. So they want to be able to see him perform, and we have seen strong performances from Dynasty. I think there's going to be a lot of people, or was a lot of people probably looking at the result from yesterday and saying, well, Dynasty was in, and then they lost all the games, but when Gaga played, they win. I mean, yes, that is technically correct, but we have seen strong performances from this guy. We know what Dynasty is capable of, and on the whole, I think that the Chengdu Hunters completely did not look like their usual selves yesterday. So I'm not going to judge it too harshly, I suppose, but we have to see how he's going to play today.
Yeah, it was great to see that bit of analysis given from the community when you crawled through Reddit and a little bit of Twitter last night. But yeah, Dynasty coming in, like you said, it's mainly down to what they want to be playing, right? So I imagine we will see Gaga being subbed in for maybe one, potentially two maps, but Gaga is not the solution. Gaga will not be the saving grace for the Hunters, but let's go ahead and take a look at the Shanghai Dragons roster. This shouldn't really surprise anyone either. This has been their strongest starting lineup, I would say. They do flex occasionally and bring Lee Jae-gon into the fold, and yeah, but honestly, this team's been looking great. This is the lineup where the Dragons have looked the strongest this stage, I would say, so there's no reason to change it. Get them in.
I think it's just taken a little bit of time to assimilate. This is, a somewhat similar circumstance for the Shanghai Dragons, at least kicking off during the Countdown Cup qualifiers, was people seeing Bebe, Void, even Fleta, not a player that we ever really thought we would be able to or have to ridicule. We would see all three of them struggling, and it took a little while, but Moon, the coach, decided to say, you know what, we're basically widely going to keep running this. We're just going to run this into the ground until it works, and by God, has it started working, because just yesterday looked absolutely incredible, damn strong in their series, and Void in particular was able to pick up a player of the match off the back end of that set, having played just a wonderful showing on both the D.Va and the Zarya throughout. We did get a little flash, a glimpse of Lee Jae-gon as well as Who Are You on that King's Row map. But for now, it will be the standard starting 5. So given the performances we've seen as late from this team, I don't think that we have to worry anymore when we don't see, the likes of Fate, the likes of Who Are You in the starting lineup.
Yeah, and I think Who Are You not being in the lineup is typically mainly a meta-dependent thing, right? When they want to run the game,
sure,
Who Are You will come in. But for the most part, like you said, Fleta returned to form. No longer drawing as much criticism as they did earlier on in the stage. But our first destination for today is going to be Oasis. Here's your map set on the screen. Eichenwalde, Junkertown, Colosseo, and Nepal to close things out if we go to distance. Early predictions of this series from me is that we probably won't go to distance on this one. I'm quite comfortable saying that this is probably going to be a 3-0, and I am touching wood as I say that because I know this is APAC and things get silly very quickly.
Well, hopefully it's your desk. But here we go. Let's get ready to go into the action on Oasis and see who is going to be able to take away the first map. I want to agree with you. My mind is telling me that is going to be the case, but it is Chengdu. So you never really know what the hell you're going to get. So let's go ahead and kick things off as we enter into University to begin.
Okay, so we've got the Orisa coming out for Void, which is an unusual pick we haven't seen a lot of when it comes to tank lineups in the current meta. It typically tends to be D.Va and Zarya into the mix, with the occasional Winston. Void's now being rotated around by the Hunters, trying to find a look into this point.
Actually did see a good deal of it last night from both Atlanta as well as the Mayhem, bringing out the Orisa, but right now, Void just going to get taken down. Nisha able to scoop the killing blow. Bebe, this man has been fine one after taking out the Immortality field, but that's about it. So Chengdu Hunters will occupy the point first and foremost, especially now that Bebe has been taken down, but is still hovering around the back lines. And now it's going to get finished off by Daisy. And that will be the lockdown coming in first for the side of Chengdu. Lip going to be an extended stagger as everybody collapses forward, finds the enemy Sojourner. They take him down, and so far Void not changing off of the Orisa. He's still going to be sticking with the Battle Cattle.
Yeah, you're going to be able to run in there. I don't necessarily think that was the biggest of problems, but they've already been fought outside of their spawn. Jinmu has to back away for safety, and Void's going to try and take some of that space. They do trade Nisa for Izayaki with a Miss Spear as well. Void's under pressure.
A decent kill to find here, honestly, for the side of Chengdu, because obviously Nisha will be able to join in very swiftly. Shanghai Dragons don't have any taxiing potential. They're not running a Lucio themselves, and Izayaki was a bit of a monster in the last 2 series. Taking him out, definitely a good look for the side of Chengdu. Ult's getting ready to come online. Leave, overclock nearly there. The EMP as well, just 15% away. And speaking of leave, there you go. Overclock now going to be ready. Does it just want to pop it here? It looks like the answer is going to be yes. Izayaki the first one to fall. Looks for the rail shot on a Fleta. He's going to be forced to recall out of there. Sends another one over towards Bebe. Chunks him out. Leaf falls a little bit low. We'll go ahead and make his exit. So the overclock widely not going to be finding too much, but it does force out the window from Bebe. And now the EMP comes in from Jinmu. They storm forward, shipping them all the way back into the spawn room. Izayaki going to get taken down, and Chengdu Hunters are kicking things off with a bang.
Izayaki's really struggling to find a footing in this map set. 75%, not got a Transcendence online. I think it's the slowest ult generation across the board right now. Constantly being put under pressure, constantly being picked off early in these fights. You saw Fleta go for a pulse bomb there as well after Monk had already used that Frisbee, the light saving grace. Of course, it wasn't going to be enough to go through. Grabs on Searchman's back line.
But there's just nothing you can do. The Transcendence is not there because it's a late swap, because he has not been able to build this up, I should say. Just gets ripped apart. And that's basically going to guarantee the 100-0. Fleta is hovering around the high ground, drops down, gets hacked. Bubble goes out onto him, but is swiftly dealt with. Void not going to be able to do a damn thing. Gets body blocked, and it's a 100% to 0 And see, this is what I was talking about, Trid. There's definitely a chance that Shanghai Dragons turn this map around and they end up taking Oasis and then take the series from there. But this is also the potential of what could be. Chengdu Hunters dropping a set for the first time to Fusion in 2022 and then immediately beating Shanghai Dragons after. It's just it's the same thing as Hangzhou beating Seoul Dynasty and then losing their follow-up set. It's definitely possible.
This is, yeah, I feel like this would be a fitting way to close out the P-Trade back. Let's take a quick replay. I think this is Leave landing, just decimating him. Oh, through the window as well. That's just unnecessary damage at that point. Leave being a monster and cleaning up this fight. Like, the railgun into the Graviton Surge in the window, like, they're already dead. You didn't need to do that to him, but here we are.
I mean, Leave, he did have a lot, quieter of a performance just yesterday. Got bullied, shut down consistently. Seems like he is a little bit upset about that, and he's very much looking to reaffirm that he is one of the former MVPs. Izayaki gets into the action, manages to find Monk. Dicey also going to be taking down Void, finishing him with a melee hit in the pilot form, but it's just a back and forth brawl right now. Izayaki finds another. Now Lip going to be traded. As the pendulum swings, the kills come through. Take the spot on to Leave. Know that he's going to be rotating back around the front. Izayaki tries to go for the charge up right click. Can't get it, but Shanghai Dragons will go ahead and get their first taste of percentage.
Yeah, points on the board for them. Able to now lock down this point. Izayaki doing much better in the ult race this time. 50% after the first fight. We'll see a Transcendence or two at this rate. They keep going. Lots of healing and damage dished out in that last fight to accrue that so far. Seems to be a focus point for Jinmu though. Can't complete it. Good defense there by Void. Negating some of that aggression. Does mean that now the Hunters aren't on the point though, and Shanghai Dragons will just keep the touch and keep the presence.
Trying to get the flip. There's a step off for a brief moment. Shanghai Dragons now pushing back forward. Void needs to stay alive, baby. Falling low. It's like the nade comes through. He does keep himself alive, but the flip is going to be there. So the Chengdu Hunters now going to be in control. Shanghai Dragons' onus now on them to try to turn this back into their favor. Nano's going to be going out, but now the support's going to be taken down. Pulse bomb out from Lee. Finds Bebe. Izayaki dying moments before. The Nano is all for naught. Void going to be broken out of the mech. He'll try to reset off the side, but no, Monk will finish him. Does him a little courtesy there. They can have the fast reset. Chengdu Hunters, though, set to take the lead.
Look, maybe it doesn't change the outcome of the fight necessarily, Seth, but you got 5 members up. Why are you allowing a free flip like that from the Hunters? Like, why are you allowing them to just take the point? Like, they could have been about 20% behind now, and you could have been closer to victory, even if you lost that fight. Like, I don't know why you have that. Yes, Void needs to step off, probably get some sustained high ground terrain, but you have Lip and Flutter who can get in there instead.
All right, well, the EMP setup is good. Leaf gets taken down. Monk has to use the Immortality Field on himself. Now it's going to be an aggressive beat coming through from Nisha. EMP from Jinmu. Grab from Daisy. Gets a lockdown onto a couple here. Instantly find the kill on Abebe. Izayaki keeps himself and Void alive through that Transcendence. As he comes out of it, will find a kill on the Daisy. Now Nisha and Monk both going to be taken down. Izayaki claiming 2. Cleanups there, the flip there as well. Shanghai Dragons back in control, looking to retake the lead.
Yeah, you got handsome Izayaki going through the window there, helping to shred through that last bit of damage to take out the Hunters. Right click from Daisy just deleted people off the back of that Graviton Surge. Izayaki's Transcendence healing was just out, just timing out just in time to be able to save them. Does mean an unfortunate death, but Shanghai Dragons stabilized, they're able to turn it back around. Now they're about to meet Chengdu Hunter's percentage. Lip's just targeting Monk right now. Bubble to protect Daisy as you expect. Now Flutter's got that Pulse Bomb and he's in the mix still. Could throw that out and find a quick pick to keep Shanghai Dragons in the lead.
The Lip and Flutter both forced to back away. Void trying to play forward into the point. There's a big opening though.
Yes.
Izayaki again comes up with the kill. He's looking for Daisy. The bubble comes in. It's not going to be nearly enough to keep him alive. Orb of Harmony onto Bebe as Jinmu tries desperately to displace and kill off this enemy Ana, but it's not going to happen. We'll just have to translocate away. Izayaki noting the direction in which he exited, so knows that he's going to be playing around from their back flank. Point still held though. Shanghai Dragons nicely in control. The EMP about to be online to go with this Pulse and this Nano.
See how they execute on this one. Final fight for the Hunters. If they lose this, oh, they've got the read. Oh, they both got the read. Who pulls the trigger first? Who gets caught out first? Destroying the translocator. Lip not under threat. Still holding this position. He'll move around. He has the EMP. He has to get into the mix of the fight and not play these spy games. Nisha down.
Nisha already taken out. The supports both together managing to find the enemy. Lucio now Leave going to be eliminated as well. It's all on Jinmu and he's going to be taking a nap. Bebe shuts him down. Pulse from Fleta finds Daisy. The cleanup is there. It's an extended team kill. It's a 156% in response. Shanghai Dragons seemingly finding the plot once more, will go ahead and extend this all the way to Garden.
They were just having a silly first round, Seth. You know, do a smidgen of trolling. Let Chunkertown Hunters get a free round, and
I saw Atlanta play this last night. The Orisa looked pretty good, guys.
Yeah. Well, you know, apparently it's not working so hot in APAC right now. We only have a limited pool to obviously make that assessment, but I feel like the Shanghai Dragons look a lot more comfortable putting Void on something like a D.Va or a Zarya. The rest of the team seem to play fantastically there. Little slip up letting Chengdu Hunters get the flip when they could have really held out a little bit longer. Ultimately, the result being the same though. Chengdu Dragons, no, Shanghai Dragons, getting themselves the round win, equalizing, taking us over to Gardens, and Lip's taking a long rotation to begin with to try and sneak in behind. Jinmu's playing probably around the back in similar scope as well. Hasn't been able to really convert on Monk and hasn't really been able to convert on Bebe and Izayaki like he did do in the first round though. And Izayaki throwing hands has been pivotal.
Leaf's just been trying to hunt down Fleta, and honestly, comes up shy. Fleta in the meantime is just putting damage in, so he's building up towards the pulse bomb. He's not quite equalizing. Recalls himself, and now it's right here onto the point, needs to make his way out, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to escape. Fleta on the hunt, but it's going to be Izayaki who claims the kill in the end. And once more, the first fight goes the way of the Shanghai Dragons.
Now just hold on to this one. Fleta's pulse bomb going to come on quite quickly. Not seen any real sticker cool conversions from those yet, but it is quite difficult obviously when Dynasty you can just put a bubble on whichever target you go for. Might be able to catch them out of cooldowns and be able to find those conversions at the end. Hack doesn't connect, but they're still going to keep putting the pressure on this backline as they put him up the stairs. It's not letting them breathe.
Yeah, Monk able to escape. Keeps himself safe. Lip just jumping back, but he's got a 20% lead on this EMP, and Leave is just caught up in the crossfire. Fleta managing to find the kill. Now Daisy gone, and the Chengdu Hunters are just bleeding out one after the other right here on the point. 4 kills, Jinmu the only one running away. Just in stealth, backing off, knows when the fight is over. There's no need for him to be playing forward at that point. It's nearly 5 ults now for Shanghai.
Bit of a problem for the Hunters to run into this one. Getting into the latter half of this round. Lip's just going to follow them in. EMP immediately. The follow-up is there. Void destroys Monk, and you don't really recover from that one very quickly, Seth.
I mean, 3 kills as he just swoops through.
1 ult as well.
Both supports plus the tank. And yeah, like you say, 1 ult committed to the fight. It's all they need. The EMP is just enough. Shanghai Dragons now 4. Trying to hold out for this last 24%. Chengdu Hunters, they nearly have 5 of their own ults, but they're going to have to maybe throw all of them just to get the flip.
Daisy might not even get it online. If Daisy gets focused down and killed here, they might not even get a grab. And if they do, it might be too late to salvage the fight.
Yeah.
Really lacking in this round when it comes to ult generation. That's just a symptom of the team.
Okay. It's going to be the lamp out, the beat dropped. Daisy dead. The pulse bomb kills him in the end. The grab, it was built up, but it's not going to be used, and then no one goes to the low ground to contest. Everybody else just ripped apart. Leaving Jinmu, even if they had gotten the touch before COT, it certainly would have been a very much finished affair. So there you have it. A very rocky start for the side of Shanghai Dragons. They try out something that we've only seen a handful of times here in APAC. They bring out the Orisa and only swap a little bit too late off of it to rectify the first round, but they managed to clean up the next 2.
They just took a while to get up to speed, Seth. You know, they cleared out 100% to 0 with Chengdu Hunters. Dominant first round. A little bit more competitive when we went to City Center, but the Gardens, just a complete blowout. Chengdu Hunters unable to get a foot on that point. The Shanghai Dragons just close them out there. Yeah, really unfortunate that the team was just not able to stabilize winning these fights. I know we highlighted Daisy as not getting able to get the ult online. Like I said, that is more of a symptom of how the team is doing. Think about how difficult it is to accrue that percentage when you can't really build energy because you're consistently losing fights as a team. So I didn't want to single them out with that one. Like I said, it's just very indicative of how it was going for the Hunters.
Yep, very much so. Well, Shanghai Dragons keeping that 3-0 prediction alive, but Chengdu Hunters very well could turn this one around. We've been seeing some good performances. Leave in particular that first round, bringing out the Sojourn, continues to look good. Tracer, unfortunately, just has not really been his strong suit as of late. We'll have to see what exactly they want to pilot as we do get ready to go into Eichenwalde and whether or not it's going to be good enough to get them a win to tie up the set. That's coming up in just a few minutes, so don't go anywhere. And welcome back. We are just one map into the series so far, and the Shanghai Dragons were able to turn around what was looking like an inevitable loss there on Oasis. But they dropped the first round, they managed to come back in, win the next two, and everything's looking a bit more normal, I suppose, from Shanghai.
Yeah, balance has been restored in an otherwise silly region.
In a very big way.
A very big way. Dragons on top seems very natural for this season, and so it's very comforting to see. And on the final day of the week. But of course, we've got a couple more maps where it can go all wrong for them. No substitution from either team, so we're not actually going to be seeing someone like Gaga subbed in just yet. Daisy will still be run out for the Chengdu Hunters, and there's been no changes on Shanghai Dragons as well, which means there's no Li Jiagon coming in here, no Fade, no Who Are You. So that backline, or this bench, if you would do, unchanged, being kept thoroughly warm for the time being.
Very much so. We'll see as they continue to run this one through whether or not Chengdu Hunters are going to be able to find some stability. I'm curious to also see, how what they're going to be playing. Leave going on to Eichenwalde. Do we just see him running that Sojourn that has been so very consistent for him? That's what I kind of have my fingers crossed for. We saw yesterday he was able to get that Kalat right on Paraiso as well, something that we don't often get treated to. So always a good little treat when we do see him running it.
Yeah, without the assistance of a grab as well. So that's just like, that was a natural... Oh, here we go. Railgun shot finding 2 people. Using the overclock to get the collateral. Makes it a little bit more impressive to not have that hard CC applied into the mix. So we see Dragons going on the offense first, so we'll get a peek at the Hunter's composition. Will you get your reward? Will you get your desire to see the Sojourn leave? I was about to say, I actually think we'll probably end up getting the Leave Tracer still, and running it around with the Sombra, which makes Seth unhappy, but unfortunately I think that's the way that this is probably going to go for the rest of the series somehow. Unless there's like massive panic and the Hunter's just like, throw anything at the wall, see what works, we'll put a Leave on Sojourn, see if he can hard carry the team.
All right. Well, I mean, again, it's not like Leave has never looked like good on Tracer. Like, he has. He has shown incredible performances. It just hasn't been hit in the same way as of late. Maybe it's the contrast to the impact that he finds on the Sojourn compared to the Tracer that makes me feel so down on it. It's hard to say. Either way, they're going to be running this. Lip, of course, out the gate. Sombra in hand. Flooded going to be hacked. Nearly eliminated. Makes it back safely into the spawn room, and now we'll just be going for the Tracer himself.
Yeah, I love how cheeky these P players get with the Sombras, knowing that there's going to be a fast Widow peek, and then drop down so they can find something quickly and add some disruption to the first push. Allowing them to take the choke, they'll play around the clock tower instead. Keep an eye on where the Sombras are. I just saw Lip going deep in the back line, so he's in that wooden house. Oh no, he's over there now. Getting hacked up.
Yep. Right up close and personal here, alongside Leave and Monk. Doesn't find the kill. Monk, again, taking some stray shots. Nisha turns, gets those heals coming through. Lip again going into harass, but doesn't get too much done. He's keeping pace with Jinmu, but not going to be finding a lead. Nice sleep does come in. Daisy on the floor, but they can't get Izayaki into a position to actually get a charge up right click and punish. So instead, Void turns the sights over to the backline, knowing that the bubbles are not there. They try to peel for them, so Nisha gets taken down, and now Izayaki is just running at him. Daisy dead. Lip cleans up the other 2. And that is going to be the Shanghai Dragons capping point A.
Oh, God, just watching it from Monk's perspective, Seth, as that was happening, you realize how frustrating, how anxiety building playing a support in this meta is, where you have Sombra and Tracer constantly on you. Monk wasn't able to breathe. You have them coming in at the same time. You have Lip recalling. Tracer still keeps the pressure on, and you just cannot find your bearings. You cannot do anything. You're not allowed to play Overwatch because you are on keep yourself alive and deter Lip and Fleta with damage duty. And it just wasn't enough. Eventually, Nisha becomes the target. Like you said, Monk wasn't going down, so you just take out the armor instead. EMP now built up.
EMP
Jinmu
there, but the Transcendence is immediately there. Izayaki responds to it. Fleta does nearly get taken down. Monk finds Lip, but Fleta right back into the action. Does take down Daisy. Pulse Bomb nearly online now as Void is going to be desuited. Pops that self-destruct to get himself back in, and Fleta just assassinates Nisha. He did not see that one coming whatsoever. Now, here comes the crunch. Monk completely surrounded. Fleta basically solos him, but they did have that forward presence from the rest of the Shanghai Dragons. The cleanup is there, and the cart is just moving completely unhindered.
And Dice is about to build up the grab on the bridge. You've got 2 support ultimates available for Hunters. They should be able to get out and at least stabilize, but they need to be able to win a fight. If they don't stop the Dragons, it's going to keep on moving uncontested, and there's going to be a huge time bank moving into point C.
It's looking to be pretty monstrous right now. Lip just willingly duking it out here. And then maybe overstays his welcome, gets taken out. Thought maybe he was going to translocate away, try to play for maybe the translocator was destroyed. I'm not sure. Either way, he does get punished, and that's going to be the retreat. Sounded here for Shanghai Dragons, pulling back as a unit. 3 minutes 24, still in the time bank though, so very healthy position to be in, especially with the cart sat here on the bridge.
They have the luxury of time. They're not going to take any chances. They'll regroup as 5 and get ready to push again. They have the direct route to pass through.
Again.
They're going to get Qualmed again. Calm it down, buddy.
Okay,
Roll
well,
it back.
gets a nice little eat there, takes the pulse bomb away from Leave, so is mitigating what could be a very disastrous play after Lip goes down once more. Now Izayaki finds the kill. Suddenly Shanghai Dragons have a slight little window to try to get themselves back in here. But for now, they're still just poking and prodding, waiting for Lip to get into position to set up for the EMP, it would seem.
Yeah, where is Lip right now, actually? Where's he hiding? Nanoboo's given over to Void. He finds the back line, but there's a go. Great reaction from Monk. Transcendence. Body
Monk
blocks
gets
as
the trans
well.
out.
Void in the fight.
Bubble's going to be used to get the break on the Void's mech. Trans out in response from Izayaki to try to keep everybody alive through the grab. It works a treat. Fleta finds the pulse bomb, nearly dies for it. Does manage to get Monk. Now Nisha going to be taken down. So Fleta is out of the fight, but so are the supports, and now the tank. Jinmu, the last one standing as the cart will finally make its way through the castle doors. 3 minutes, 45 seconds in the time bank here for Shanghai Dragons. All ults expended across the board, so going to have some neutral fighting to see who can gain ground.
Nearly a 4-minute time back to move into point C as well. Looking in the wrong place. Jinmu's now going to sneak into the back line, but you were doing a bit of spy checking to make sure he wasn't going to find a cheeky pickup on the Izayaki. Still deep behind. Oh, beautiful sleep. He's done for.
Okay, the bubble helps for a moment, but Izayaki still gets his manly end. They prolonged his life by a scant few seconds, but inevitably he was assassinated. Now Daisy again finished off. Void just charging forward with the rockets ripping. We find the kills, the cart moving forward unhindered once more. Nisha contained inside of the spawn room, trying to stay alive. Pulse bomb not going to be able to get the break on a Void's mech, so he is still here. Daisy rejoining into the fight. Gets antied out, doesn't commit a bubble to that one, knows that he's still relatively safe. Nisha finds Lip. Good cleanup, especially given that he's just 11% away from having that EMP online. Void down low. Needs to get some heals. Daisy pushing forward, trying to use him as a battery right now, but it's going to be the Nano. Drawn out. Bebe throws it on the Void. They want to continue to try to make this push happen. But again with the pulse bomb, this time not going to be able to find a kill, but Izayaki, he's the one who comes up huge once more. Daisy taken down. Jinmu eliminated. Void this time finding that. Now the self-destruct is online, but they don't even need it. The cart just goes ahead and glides in. What with the DPS, the tank's taken down. There was nothing for Monk and Nisha to do there. They overextend, pushing into the side room. The Nano comes through, and the Chengdu Hunters fall apart on the defense.
Yeah, they use Void as a battering ram there right at the end to just push and break out, immediately get onto Monk on the back line, spray him down, and it's over. One thing I wanted to roll us back to, Seth, I'm actually thinking about it again. That sleep on the Jinmu, the bubble actually worked out worse for the Hunters, I feel like, because it's not as if Jinmu was on the cart contesting it. The payload could still move. The bubble just extended his life a little bit longer, actually causing a self-stagger. Very minor, but still stops a cohesive unit being able to put up as much of a defense. Ultimately, I think it only accumulated to a handful of seconds on the time bank. There's just one thing I was thinking about as the round was ending, because 2 minutes 23 with the conclusion. Shanghai Dragons have a strong finish there on Eichenwalde, and they now go on to the defense, and Hunters need to worry about completing, and if they do, they got a whole other innings to go through.
Yep. So, and they need to finish with time. And obviously, they don't. They're playing for a draw. If they do, that extra time, however much below a minute they are, gets added to Shanghai's time bank. So they need to have a very strong attack here. Leave. Maybe. Just maybe. We'll be running the Sojourn. Have we mind melded? Do we have the same thought sleeve? It would seem so.
Okay.
Lip around the back.
The hope, the thoughts, the prayers. Resting on the Hunters, resting on Leave.
Still a really aggressive translocator position, too. Gets a hack here on anti-out on the Nisha. They try to dive forward. Fleta coming in, tries to get it, but it's going to be Leave finding first blood. Izayaki taken down. Fleta able to get Monk in the end. Again? Leave will come up with a second one. Fleta trying to fight back desperately, though, and keep them in this defense. And now is going to be hacked out. He gets Leave, however. Still, though, low. 70% built up. Down to about half HP. Doesn't have a health pack to play around with. Rotates back into the PC shop. Actually just managed to grab the mini, but still going to be under fire. In the meantime, the point is being locked down. And eventually, he will end up falling. Void has gone back over onto the point, joins in there. Lip moving forward as well, gets a hack across, but 2 ticks now. Going to be snatched up from the side of the Chengdu Hunters, and it seems like this is just going to be conceded. They cannot try to recontest here. It's 5.5 minutes for Chengdu Hunters now as they go into the streets phase.
Look, Lee didn't have really the decisive moment, the decisive clap with the railgun, but dealt enough damage, picked off enough bodies, and just chipped away at the HP pools enough from the Shanghai Dragons to have the impact and allow them to get points on the board. I wasn't expecting them to be able to get the full cap off of that alone. I was expecting them to have to do it again with a checkpoint hit. But no, it was enough from Leave on the Sojourn, just to keep the pressure up, stay alive long enough, and yeah, deal enough damage to the overall HP pool of the Hunters, of the Shanghai Dragons, where it just became unsustainable for them to defend.
Well, Shanghai now gonna need to put their foot down, and that's them doing just that. EMP out, dive off the top rope, Fleta finds Monk. Jinmu around the back, gonna be translocating out to safety, keeps himself in the mix, and does have an answering EMP as they get ready to come back into this, and crucially, Izayaki does not have a Transcendence to counter it. So this will leave them a bit exposed. Lip, choosing his timings a little bit unwisely, goes in, tries to get some harassment down to the Monk to build up for another one, but Dicey is right there alongside of him, has the bubbles to keep him protected. Make their way through the castle now, trying to contest up onto the ramparts here. Nisha going to be hacked out, lead melted. Void goes charging through, they find the kill. Widow does come up, but they're not really playing off the back of this one at all. Now Nisha just mowed down as Void continues to plow his way through everyone.
What was Leaf doing? Did you not see that? Leaf just skidded forward and led the charge. He frontlined that push from the Chengdu Hunters and got punished for it by Void, who just came charging back the other way.
Okay,
he skidded to his own death.
Am I blind, or did the Soundberry shield go out at the Nisha Ajax?
I don't know. I have to get a replay on that one. I was so focused on Leaf frontlining.
Yeah, I remember the Ambatrix coming through, but I didn't hear the voice line for it. So caught up in the action, so maybe I whipped it. Maybe the shields just got evaporated so quickly by Shanghai Dragons, but I think he might have just lost it. Either way, there's a good shutdown there. Lip does get picked off early, so a little bit of space gained, but now Leaf getting jumped on. Izayaki will find that kill. Nisha gets a little bit of swift revenge here for his comrade, but Fleta comes up with 2. Takes out Monk, Jinmu dead. Baby will be traded, so there's no supports for the Shanghai Dragons, but Fleta's alive, and he has shown that he is more than capable of playing without supports. They clean him up, and once again, Shanghai Dragons win out in a fight that it seems like they should not be able to.
Yeah, so check his PC. He's just running around on a Tracer. Unstoppable. Melee kills left, right, and center at the end of those pistols. Hunters have about, 2 minutes of their time bank burned already. It's a good replay. Oh, we might be able to see this now. Oh no, this is just Fleta being an animal. Huge
yeah, this is just the just crushing of the Chengdu Hunters here by Fleta, and it feels good to see clips like that from him on Tracer again. Hey, Jinmu swapped over to the Genji. He's already dead. Leaf gets another rail shot, takes out Izayaki. Now, Mortality Field's going to be cleaned up. Void not going to be able to get remaxed. Fleta again finds another elimination. The Pulse Bomb gets the kit on the
Stop
Monk.
him!
He gets Leave on the back end, and Fleta is just looking damn unstoppable. Drops back down to the castle, waits, grabs the Mega Pack. He's back to full HP. This man is playing like his 2020 self. Like, he's just looking impeccable.
Also playing so independently as well, like, just pathing directly to find the heals for himself, taking minimal resources from Shanghai Dragons in order to pull all of this off. Huge, insane value coming out of Fleta in this map.
And on to Void, so he gets chunked out. Jinmu dead again. Lip is right in front of him. Jinmu just can't do a damn thing. Monk pushed away from the rest of the squad, completely separated. Brought to the slaughterhouse. Void puts him down. Suddenly, the time bank, 4 minutes, have disappeared. It's 1:30 just to try to get across the bridge. They haven't even gotten to the bridge.
They're too focused on dealing with Lip, who's just being a pain. Lip is just sat here, just constantly drawing them back, burning more and more time. It's so free for Lip to then translocate out as the Sombra. Pathing through the castle, want to get the high ground. Void's returning up there to try and meet them again. Fleta's waiting in the wings.
And pushes around the back, Pulse Bomb. 18% away, and we know that he's going to be able to get that one in just a couple seconds. Void does get broken out of the mech. Transcendence now out from Izayaki to try to keep everybody else alive. You can see Leaf wary about the positioning of Fleta. Now spots him down to the low ground. Void going to get finished off. Dicey able to hound down the Baby Diva. Rail not charged up, so can't get a quick execute on the Bebe. Seems like Leaf still wants to play this one out aggressively. Drops in with the rest of the squad, and they will get him in the end. Finally, at long last, the Chengdu Hunters, for the first time in 4 minutes, can start pushing the cart forward. But Lip still has an EMP. Flutta still has a Pulse Bomb.
It's really good that they got
Over.
Izuyaki's Transcendence in that one, though, Seth, because Jinmu's got that
Yes.
Dragon Blade. So now it's
And
basically
Daisy has a
they're
grab
able
as
to do
well.
it. Big combo coming up, and this should be the fight winner, enabling Hunters to be able to get the point C. They pop the blade.
Blade first, but here comes the focus fire. Void just
Blunted.
jumps straight in on top of him. Down to 70 HP. He stays alive for a little bit longer, but there is the chase. There's the kill. Void continuing to just absolutely ruin Jinmu's day. EMP comes across. Monk disappears. Nisha now going to be taken down. Leave dead in midair. Flutta just casually
That's
locks
over.
onto him. And that is going to be it for this map. The celebratory self-destruct, a pulse bomb that we'll never get to see. Flutta holds it in his pocket as the Shanghai Dragons successfully defend in front of point B, getting rid of 5.5 minutes worth of time bank to now move up 2-0 over the Chengdu Hunters.
Linebacker Void at the end there, playing the big defense, protecting the quarterback, taking Jinmu out of the key position he wanted to on that blade, creating so much space and buying time for the supports to stay alive, denying the resets as well, had no deflect for the damage, 60 HP, climbed for the Mega, still got burnt down before they could escape. You know, that was the tool. That was what Hunters needed to break through this defense, get to point C, but it was completely shut down and blunted by Void. Nothing they could do about that. Fight win off the back of it. Ultimates all over the shop. Dragons return to point. EMP done.
Yeah, I mean, some head-scratcher, picks from Lip, just getting shut down time and time again on that map, but after that, he very much was able to refocus back on the task at hand and become an absolute menace. Fletta showing, that MVP form that we know he is capable of once more, just taking over the lobby. And when you've got Void there to protect you as well at the same time, it just feels like an unwinnable situation for the Chengdu Hunters. And now they find themselves down 0-2 in the series. Junkertown is where they need to get a win if they want to turn things around. It looks like there's not going to be any changes once more, as we see that Daisy still sat in his seat. So it seems like they're going to just go ahead, run this, believing in this 5-man squad to be able to get some wins, but we have to see it put into practice. That's going to be coming up after the break, so don't go anywhere. We'll see if it's going to be the conclusion or the extension of the series. welcome back. This series is almost over. Shanghai Dragons currently lead 2-0 with an incredibly dominant second map there on Eichenwalde. I mean, we saw pretty one-sided affair in the last 2 rounds of Oasis, but given the start, we were expecting a little bit more from Chengdu Hunters, but right now they are falling very far under the mark right now. Shanghai Dragons just playing with their food, Fleta feasting on every single player in that lobby. And now something drastic needs to happen if Chengdu want to run this back, because it's got to be a reverse sweep.
Yeah, gotta go to distance, and we're joking around. We're like, hope everyone in Korea is ready. This could be a fast series. We might need to start putting on all the lights and getting that match ready to go. But still, like you said, Seth, the option is not over until it is over. Fleta and Void putting in fantastic performances in that last map. One of the key moments or key stars of that lineup in Eichenwalde. Void
Attack now, 2 minutes left to go as they get ready to round the final corner here, Drid.
Yeah, and they walked into point C with about 4 minutes worth of time bank, Seth. So the Shanghai Dragons, 2 minutes have been burned just in this section alone on the defense. And while they are about to come to that home stretch of the map, it's been a fantastic defensive change from the Shanghai Dragons because, I got to be honest with you, point B and point A, quite quick for Hunters. They had a blistering time bank coming into it, and now finally the brakes have been put on. We've got ultimates being built up by the backline of the Dragons to deal by this full offensive that the Hunters are about to throw up. There's only a couple more fights left in this attempt.
They're certainly running out of time. Decent tools to work with, though, for Chengdu. Monk just completely collapsed upon grab. It's still going to be committed to the fight. Leap will be able to find one. The cleanup is going to be there as Chengdu Hunters lose out on 3 members. Dynasty panicking, hits Q, sends it sailing. That might have sent sailing the hopes of Chengdu Hunters for being able to complete this map. They still hold on to a couple decent options. The EMP is there, but Izayaki has the Transcendence.
I'm going to be generous. I'm going to be generous with Dynasty because I know that the timing of that probably meant that Dynasty had already committed to that play before Monk went down. Then Monk went down, he's already pressed it. Like, that is so finite in the timing. It's just really unfortunate for them. Switches over to the Diva, EMP from Jinmu, not converted, and Monk goes down again.
Not converted at all, and Limp in the meantime, he wasn't even bothering. He was in the enemy back line, EMP
30
or
seconds.
not, he finds the kill. Monk taken down. Izayaki also doesn't even get forced to use the Transcendence on the back end of that. There was just not nearly enough pressure being exerted. Now Dynasty barely is able to keep his mech intact. Anti onto him. Void trying to stay alive. Jets his way up onto the high ground, does get broken out of it. Monk is able to find that one in the end. EMP out from Lip, however, not Dynasty. Broken out of the back, the baby Diva is finished off. Nisha dead. And so far, it's only Baby that has been lost. Izayaki will end up falling, so now no supports in the fight, but Monk dies with the trance! He gets taken down. Jinmu is trying to run this cart forward, but he's got to still get through Fleta. He's getting shipped this cart forward, but he's got to still get through Fleta. He's getting shipped away a little bit here. Fleta, maybe actually, I think Fleta might be interrupting the respawns as best as he possibly can. Lip moves forward to go ahead, gets the cart contested. Fleta now joining in. Izayaki assassinates Jinmu. Dynasty going to be receiving the nano just to try to stay in this mech, but can do nothing to help his situation. Gets taken. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a little hot minute, I guess, since we last saw you, but just to go ahead and give you a catch-up, we think that everything is working just fine, and that you guys are bearing with us during the technical difficulties. In case you weren't able to see it, which most of you weren't, Shanghai Dragons kind of wiped the floor with Junkertown, just got a little bit close at the end of Junkertown, but widely they were able to get the win, so it's a 3-0 for the Shanghai Dragons. Which does mean that the Guangzhou Charge, I believe, are now 5th seed in the play-ins. Chengdu Hunters there at the very bottom of the standings. And Fleta was our player of the match because the whole way throughout he was played absolutely to perfection. But now it's time to get ready to go into our second series of the evening, the last one of the weekend. This is going to be the Seoul Dynasty going up against the Philadelphia Fusion. It's a very special occasion because for the first time in a damn long while, we have LAN. For Overwatch League, I mean, the first time really in Korea for Overwatch League for that matter. But just generally, we haven't had that much high-stakes, high-skill Overwatch going on here on LAN in Korea for years at this point. So it's very, very exciting to see once more.
Yeah, and we've been taking a look at the game feed. We've got a nice little feed of inside the arena. There's been images shared on social media as well. Everyone's filling in. There's a lot of excitement in the area to finally see some offline Overwatch as well. And hopefully you guys will be able to hear some of that. The crowd noise in particular, I think, will be played through as well where we can. So hopefully you'll be able to pick up on some of the atmosphere that's going on in the arena. But on to today's match, Seth. Seoul Dynasty, Philadelphia Fusion. Seoul Dynasty definitely been top dogs of the region so far. Philadelphia Fusion has been a team that has been succeeding a little bit. We will have to make a quick comment though and kind of give you an update on what's happening with the Philadelphia Fusion roster for this one because as you may have seen on social media, if you follow Roston, who's the team's manager, they put out a statement basically saying that there's been an injury for Zest. So Zest will not be playing today, which means that if you know the Fusion lineup, we're probably looking at some kind of Carpe MN3 starting damage lineup, which certainly isn't ideal based on there's a lot of overlap with some of their hero pool, but we will hopefully see a fantastic performance from them nonetheless.
Well, here you go. The shots from inside the arena being played live in Busan. The audience ready to get hyped up as we get ready to see this match take off between these two teams. Every time they clash, it has been a wonderful showing between the two squads. They have a very storied history between them. And now we have to see who is going to be able to come out on top. I mean, I think a lot of people, whenever you see this matchup, especially on the side of the Fusion arena, they would love to see Carpe playing. Granted, this is not necessarily the circumstances that we want to see it happen in, but being able to see it happen here today in a LAN environment is going to be damn exciting. As everybody takes their seats and we get ready to have battle commence, the players will make their way onto the stage here in just a few moments, and then we can get the action underway.
And what you have to remember is, when you look at the APAC region, Philadelphia Fusion, Seoul Dynasty, and then you throw in the Shanghai Dragons into the mixture, they're one of the original franchise slots that came into the league all the way back at the start. They've been in it for the long haul. The franchises have played against each other multiple times, and of course, staying competitive with the other teams that have come in. So Fusion Dynasty have a lot of Korean players on their teams, have done for a while as well, so it's understandable there's going to be a lot of excitement to rally behind both of these teams as they get ready for this LAN Clash showdown. As mentioned at the top of the show, doesn't really affect the standings all that much, let's be real. Both of these teams have qualified for playoffs directly, and none of them are at risk of losing that, changing that. They won't have to go through play-ins at all. This is probably just to do with competitive testing, getting the reps in, and also putting on a fantastic show for everyone in the arena, as well as you at home.
Of course, got a brief little flash here of the Korean commentators before we came back on camp. I haven't seen some of those guys in forever, and it's good to see them still also sticking by and being able to continue casting Overwatch League. And I'm overjoyed that they have that LAN experience once more that's happening here on home soil, because it's been like I said, a damn long while. Apex was a while ago, as was Contenders when we had it on LAN. So I'm really excited to get into this one and see who's going to be able to come out on top. But it is a bit puzzling and a bit worrying for Fusion not being able to have Zest starting on this lineup, because he has been huge at times. So it could be a little bit rough for them with him out. We'll have to just wait and see, because it's been a damn long while since we've seen Carpe as well. So we'll see how they're going to be able to perform, and we'll get ready to go ahead and introduce the teams.
Yeah, we'll see them coming up soon. But for now as well, I think looking towards the Seoul Dynasty lineup, they are relatively unchanged in terms of their starting lineup. We'll get to that in a moment, but you could probably guess who's going to be playing. Seth, you know, it doesn't really change as much. They play him fantastically. Ilios, of course, being the latest member to join that team earlier on in this season. I think you said it quite well yesterday, is that it doesn't look like creative's gone. It doesn't look like they've missed a beat whatsoever. They fit in perfectly to this team, despite not having the most amount of play time. And Prophet's able to do Prophet things, borderline MVP performance, playoffs Prophet without the playoffs effectively. And Smurf is having the time of his life right now in the tank role. Just Zarya has been fantastic, just absolutely dominating all opponents that come his way. So expecting more of the same today from the Seoul Dynasty.
Yeah, very much. I fully agree, and you know, I will re-echo my sentiments in that this team, whatever the structure is, whatever Toby has set up for them, to be able to just build synergy so quickly, bringing in another support player after having created for a damn long while, it seems to be great. It seems to be working a treat. You know, the loss to the Hangzhou Spark notwithstanding, it has been an overall fantastic season for the side of the Dynasty, which is not something that the fans are used to seeing, but I can see the Marine giving a look, and it's time to go ahead and meet the teams. And there they are on stage, the WGDG Arena, in front of their fans for the first time in a damn long while. And for some of these players, the first time ever, you would have to suspect, because some of these young up-and-comers, they skipped over the LAN era of contenders. They weren't in Apex. And because of COVID, obviously, haven't been able to play on a stage in front of a crowd. So for a lot of these players, especially on the Fusion side, given the number of rookies that they have, it is going to be a day of firsts. So exciting to see how the action is going to be potentially affected by that. But here's the starting five for the Seoul Dynasty. It's exactly what you anticipate, with Prophet's duo coming through. And we don't really expect to see anything different now that we're past that Junker Queen meta where we had Prophet playing the Brigida.
Yeah, back in the damage slot, living a life up, particularly on the Tracer, while Fitz is taking up the Sombra responsibilities. It's like the bedstone composition that we see in the current meta. No complaints from them starting out. Unlikely we'll see Stalker. Stalker had their moment during the Summer Showdown when Genji was the next big thing. For the time being, this is the lineup that will probably stay consistent throughout. As we've already mentioned, Philadelphia Fusion, when we get round to them, have a slightly different flavor of roster. Don't know if that's going to bode out well for them today. They have a lot on the line to be able to break down the Seoul Dynasty today.
And if they can do it, what a story it would be. I mean, granted, we did see some weaknesses from Dynasty. They didn't really look like themselves in that series a couple days ago versus the Hangzhou Spark. They tried a couple of different things compared to what they have been running so far during the Countdown Cup qualifier. So something tells me that unless they feel like they really have fixed the issues in the short amount of time that they've had to get some additional scrims in, because granted, you know, there is at least like a half a day of travel to be able to get down to this arena and whatnot, then I think they're just going to be going back to what has been their bread and butter thus far, what was putting them on a trajectory to go through this entire qualifier ahead of the playoffs undefeated. It's squashed, so I think it's just going to be a reversion back to what had been working before.
Yeah, people often joke like the Seoul Dynasty tend to big brain themselves a little bit, but less about that, more about the Philly Fusion.
And here they come, making their way out onto the stage with, I mean, I was going to say, it's basically a home crowd for both teams because we have while we're not in Seoul, and everybody's Korean. And oh, it's just sad. I wonder what did you do, Zest? What have you done to yourself, young man?
Well, you don't need us to tell you why Zest won't be playing today. You can visibly see it. Oh?
Oh. Something with... Is he gonna... oh, okay.
Ah, yes, the Dragon Blade.
I thought he was going to knight them with an umbrella.
That's what I thought as well. Hey, look, that... Nice of the team to give that gesture over to Zest, being able to actually pull out a Dragon Blade on the stage, something they're not going to be able to do today, and something I'm sure they was looking forward to potentially doing. One of the rookies joining the Philadelphia Fusion this season, like you said, Seth, not having necessarily the most opportunity to play on LAN, it's going to be it makes it a little bit even sadder that Zest won't be joining us today.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it was one of those scooters, if he was trying to ride around. And we saw, years ago, Striker injure himself ahead of the grand finals, and I believe in 2019 because he was riding one of those scooters and hit a bump in the road and then fell off. Hoping that that's not the case, and I'm hoping for a very, very fast healing process for him. Obviously, as somebody who also just somewhat recently recovered from having a broken hand. It's not really fun when you can't play video games, especially when you predominantly play FPS. You can really only play things like MMOs and turn-based single-player games.
That's so horrible for you, isn't it, Seth? You could only play
the
WoW.
MMO part's fine.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Well, anyway, here is the starting five. It's been a damn long while since we've seen Carpe's handsome face, but he will be there playing for the first time in a while. He's got the new hair going as well. Can't see it in the photo, but we saw him on stage. Bleach blonde. We'll see if that's him hitting his Super Saiyan form to be able to help take down the Dynasty.
And look, that kind of injury, we obviously don't know the details for Zest, but that can be a lengthy injury, especially because of how much you're going to need that hand to be able to play the game. Carpe being in this team could be what we see for the rest of the season. This might be the look of the Fusion heading into the playoffs. Because that injury doesn't turn around necessarily quick. We don't know what it is, but if it's a break, if it's a fracture, Zest is probably out for the rest of the year.
I mean, it's not only that, but it's, even if it does heal in time, it's so much time spent not scrimming, not practicing. And with potential changes to the meta ahead of playoffs, depending on what patch we end up on, not being practiced up on that can be just as harmful. We saw in the past, in 2020, when, players for different teams who weren't able to really get themselves out to Korea for the longest time, they finally managed to make their way here. They got their visas approved. They arrived. But because they hadn't had enough time to scrim with the teams, we did not see them get to play. I'm thinking about the likes of, I believe, Nero when he was on Guangzhou Charge. We didn't quite get to see them be able to finally step on stage alongside their comrades, alongside their teammates. So I agree with you. It's a very scary look. It's a very scary thing to have happen. Obviously, the most important thing is that Zest is okay and will be healing properly. The game, aside from that, is just that. It is the game. So his health comes first. So we know that Carpe is still a very skilled player, but his lack of stage time, that's where the concerns come in. We have to see how they're going to perform. Because this is also making it a very one-dimensional read for the Seoul Dynasty. Because with Carpe coming in, you're not going to be anticipating, unless he wants to go all the way back to his BK Stars era stuff and play Genji, we're anticipating that this is likely going to be just Sombra Tracer from these two right here. It's going to have to be some form of that double hit scan coming in. But maybe, you never know. Maybe Carpe is going to surprise us. Maybe he's going to pull out the Genji after all of these years.
Look, that's the mystery box right now. What is Carpe going to bring to the stage today? One thing to note as well, Belos Rhea going to be starting as well. Fury, I imagine, will probably get some substitution time and get into the roster at some point. I think Fusion have looked their best with Fury in the roster in the current meta. Maybe it's a map-dependent choice to bring Belos Rhea in to begin with, but that's a substitution I do expect to see at some point. Even though it's for one map.
Yeah, it's definitely possible depending on what the pool is going to be looking like. We haven't seen Belos Rhea in the last couple showings, and we haven't need to because Fury has kind of had things on lock for the Fusion, especially in that series just yesterday. So, well, we'll see if Belos Rhea shows up. I think it would definitely be a great little moment for him to, be able to also get involved, be on stage, perform in front of the crowd while they're cheering for him and whatnot. So we can keep our fingers crossed that we do go somewhere where it's a bit more Winston-centric. But for now, we'll just have to see how things develop and what that map set is as we continue to get ready to dive into the game.
Yeah, the same sort of thing kind of applies here as well, Seth, is that, like, yes, we have this opportunity to have LAN performances for a lot of these players. Belosria being able to get some stage time now, get that first one out of the way, whatever, with this lineup, it means that when it comes around to playoffs when hopefully they make the distance and get to Anaheim perhaps, then you don't have that like first LAN nerves with this team. You can kind of just get the reps in now, cycle through players, get them all a little bit of stage time with slightly lower stakes. Like we said, this doesn't change much of the standings. Now's the time to get LAN performances in for all of your players who may not have had it with this roster, really get it locked down and look ahead to what comes next when you make it to the stage of playoffs.
Very much. But did have the map set there for just a brief moment. We should be getting underway here as we go ahead and dive straight in. I don't know. I was losing my mind talking about Belosria not being in. I just assumed and forgot already because there's like so much going on and it's already been a hell of a day. So he will be starting. So that's my mistake. I'm just an idiot. But it is.
Don't worry about it. He's in. That's what counts, Seth. Nepal is our first destination. I think Sanctum's the first in the round. But yeah, we'll have Belosria in the lineup to begin with. And of course, like I said, Fury will probably be in at some point, I imagine.
Ooh.
Get the reps in, get the stage time. Smurf Winston.
I
the
like
Winto
this.
on my LAN.
Okay, I thought maybe they're actually going to stick with the Symmetra. They do not. MN3 is going to swap up for the Sombra, but Carby's going to be coming out on the May. Something else that he has shown us from time to time. See whether or not catches the Dynasty off guard. Belosria can be a prime target for those hacks coming through. Binham already going to be swapping up, goes over to the Lucio, and Aimgod is able to just right-click down Smurf. So first blood found for the side of the Fusion. They should be able to get the first lock at the point as well.
Smurf doing a little bit of scouting, gets up there, sees the entire lineup, tries to move to the other side of the map, goes for the Mega, and then all of a sudden, he has Fixer and Aimgod in his face. Easy burn down, like you said, he's a prime target for the hacks, just a prime target anyway. MN3 gets run over.
Yeah, just dove on. Smurf and Prophet just diving in. They managed to find that elimination. So now down a member, Anti out onto 2. Carpet, Belosria, both going to be falling low. Fixa will find Iris. But in the meantime, the point has been flipped as we go skirmishing outside. Flyer Strike will find Prophet. Smurf gets Carpe. A bloody brawl. It seems like both teams seemingly shaking hands and just go ahead and duke it out. Fisticuffs coming through. As the point flip nearly there, back into the Fusion's control, but with Fitz and Smurf re-arriving, the Dynasty will maintain it.
Catch you later.
Lovely bit of Gentleman's agreement to get down and dirty to begin with. Skirmishes, like you said, Seth, coming out, 26% and accruing for the Dynasty, leading an ult charge for the time being. Prophet on the Genji, gonna have that blade soon. Iris keeping up with ult charge, that's the potent combination looking to go. Carpe trailing a little bit with that Blizzard, and Aimgod's gonna have that Coalescence for this next fight.
And Carpe just getting taken so very low. Does have the ice block now.
Aimgod would have it.
Unable to get away. Ends up falling. The wall comes up. Carpe trying to kite back over to the Mega. Smurf goes diving in. Manages to zap him down. Belosria just backpedaling over onto the point. Anti out. Shield raised. Trying to keep himself and MN3 protected. MN3, however, is going to leave him out in the dry. Says, yeah, you're on your own, good friend. Dips. Builds up towards the EMP, but with Belosria gone, 60% now on the board for the Dynasty. The first volley worked for the Fusion, but the follow-up just has not.
There's the change-up. Belosria going over to the Winston now. Going to try and match Smurf in the mirror. Might be too little too late. We're at 70% already. Ult's on the board for the Seoul Dynasty. Might struggle to find the impact they're looking for. MN3 with the EMP.
Yep, he throws that out. Finds Vinham, but the kill is just not there. Smurf shuts down Belosria. Coalescence now rolling from Aimgod. Will go ahead and just hose down all the support.
Triple!
Aimgod gets 3 kills! What is this? Fell right into their traps, it would seem. Prophet gonna go jumping forward, takes him down to 7 health, but Carpe's there to scoop the final 2 kills. That's the wipe. That's the Fusion regaining control for themselves.
Tough battle though. Tough hold for them here though, Seth. That Nano Blade combination online. Fixer does not have the beat to try and mitigate some of this. If they go on tempo with this as they try and enter for the retake, could spell disaster for the Fusion. They might be losing Sanctum very early on.
All right, Blade pulled out, nanoed up his Prophet, gets into the corner, he's slashing away at Belosria, but Belosria's just got so much HP and Carpet in the meantime, got himself in the back line, found Iris, the pulse bomb kill is there, he also scoops one on the Prophet, sound barrier from Binham is far too late. Shielding now going to expire, he's going to try to retreat, but to no avail, Belosria pounds him down. Despite the damage coming through from Fitz on the Fixa, he will go ahead and hold steady, keeps the sound barrier locked in.
Profit Carpe Tracer duel, Seth. He's had enough with the Genji, he's gone over to Tracer to match. Mirror compositions, the only deviation being the support line. We actually have Vindane take up the Brigitte responsibilities as well. Fixer still has this beat. Good defensive tool for the Fusion to try and get up to the upper stage of this map. Gonna struggle if he gets hacked. Very low, gets taken up by Smurf's Primal Rage.
Does get hacked, and now the sound barrier not going to be allowed to be in the fight. Carpe is well going to be swept. MN3 swept under the rug. Carpe stays alive, pops the recall, but Vinhame apparently gets on top. The flip finds the kill. The flip is back in favor of the Dynasty. Pelistria primal up, goes over to the point to at least be able to force out this overtime. Buy some space for the rest of the squad to be able to rejoin here. Try to get that counter flip back into their favor and then close out. Smurf goes for the contest. The sound barrier now dropped in. Fixa shielding up just about everybody other than Name God, who does have that next coalescence ready to go, but the healing output is not going to be enough. They're trying to keep Pelistria in the fight. He's stuck into the corner. He will be able to finish off Smurf. It's a 2 for 2, but now a 3 for 2 as a Fusion. Look to win this one out. The flip back into their favor has come through. They're ticking up at 84%. Now they're in control, and they might just be able to steal this one away.
No way they get away with that one. So messy, so wild. Seoul Dynasty gonna have to sprint back to the point with the rally to have a touch of this one. Carpe's lingering with that pulse bomb, waiting to catch the first person who comes through.
MN3 is giving him the information. He's putting out the pings. Carpe now playing around the front. The overtime forced out. There's the stick, and that shuts down the rally. Vidhame dead, but Fixa traded out. Smurf able to find one. Iris, however, still in a very precarious spot, but to his rescue comes Profit and Smurf. They turn it around. They find the kills. Now they chase forward and look for Aim God. They shove him back all the way over towards the Mega Room. They get the kill. Pelistria cannot escape. The stick from Profit, just too much damage. And while it is damn close, Fixa will extend this for a little bit longer. He's going to get cleaned up, and that will be the round secured. So first round of Sanctum goes the way of the Dynasty after an incredible back and forth.
Oh, they made him work for that one. So close to taking it away as well. I was watching Carpe's POV and we're like, okay, he's got the pulse bomb, he's got a stick, shuts down the rally early from Vindame. You know, a little bit of value comes from it before being blown up. You're like, oh, that should be it. That should be the play. His end god's cold, just back on your screen quickly. I think this is the triple, maybe.
Yeah, just got the fire hose out.
And just, wasn't even looking at him.
Sprays him down. 3 quick kills. Nice little highlight play from a hero that we don't often get to see with the Moira, but it's not quite enough to get them to win, but the 99% for still looking decent. MN3 now going to be coming out on the Cassidy. Carpe once more back over to the Mag.
Yeah, interesting look for the Fusion. A rotate round to the higher ground, watch the main gates. Dynasty going for some changes up. Vindame switches over to the Lucio. Still going to roll out with the Genji and the Sombra here. Just biding their time. They're going to go when the point unlocks. They're jumping on top, up on the high ground.
Yeah, force the fight. The 3 anti up at the moment, gets a dink there onto Profit. Not the kill, but hits finds Carpe. May have been hacked, didn't quite get to see it, whether or not it could have made its way into the ice block or if it was already on cooldown, but now that's going to be the damage dealer taken away from the Fusion. Drop down from behind, Fitz just farming off of Pelistria, trying to get the CMP online. He's nearly halfway there. They push in behind the shield. He goes for a desperate pin to try to trade at least 1 kill back. They won't be able to find it. See if Pelistria makes a faster swap this time around. With MN3 going the way of Sombra, it seems highly likely, and yes, it will be the Winston.
Yeah, you tried it. It's worthwhile, but you know, you've got to go back to old reliable mirror composition coming in for the Fusion now. Sacrifice a little bit of the ultimate charge. It's not like Pelistria had much in the tank anyway, so it doesn't benefit from those changes to ultimate charge across the board. MN3 and Carpe, 40% each. Fitz hacked up. Going to be converted.
Yep. Good calling. MN3 gets the hack. Carpe goes in for the alley-oop. Kill established. Smurf contesting the point. Throws down the bubble. Good amount of damage out. The call comes through that Iris is completely isolated. And yeah, he ends up getting taken down. Smurf slept for a brief little moment. Profit going to be antied out. Vinhame now getting taken down. And that's going to be a supportless Seoul Dynasty. Carpe continues to clean up the kills. Flip it in their favor. Fusion now gaining control for the first time here on Village.
Iris must have, like, Baby pretty much had a neon sign above them saying, "Dive me, I'm a lonely support." Just completely away from the rest of his team. Just begging to be killed there. Philadelphia Fusion right to capitalize on that, convert that kill on the back line, and now it's for Seoul Dynasty to assault once more. They're going to have the Nano Blade combination online. Fixer doesn't have the beat. There's a finite window where they have a free blade to use. They're going to use it right away.
Profit Dashing in, gets on top of Aim God, finds that kill. Fixa was hacked out. Carpe trades one back by getting the pulse onto Iris. But I don't think that's going to be enough. The damage dealt. Fusion sent scattering up. A little minor delay there from MN3. Ends up going down to the back end. And okay, they want to eke out as much percentage as they possibly can, it would seem. Also try to get some of these ults online. So they go back in. Into onto the point. Flip is now there. Fusion narrowly take the lead, but Dynasty take it right back.
Yeah, extending that lead ahead of the Fusion. EMP available for them. Fixa has beat. Very unlikely to catch a Lucio. Current way things are currently going, so expect the beat to be used as a reactionary tool when those ultimates start flying from both sides now that everyone's got them available. Fix is on top of them. Going to use it to try and shut down Fixa right away.
Right into the face of Fixa, but it's going to be the Boostio coming through. Aim God saves his life. That means the sound barrier can still be used, and he goes ahead, drops the beat. Aim God, however,
doesn't catch
still
Aim God.
Dead. I think he might have avoided getting the shielding, so Fixa ends up just dropping it basically for himself. However, the trade-up is still there because Carpe is farming. Finds himself another elimination in the fight. Fusion can go ahead and get this flip once more. Smurf getting hounded down. They will go ahead and leave him to his own devices. Fusion make their way back over the point where they should be able to... Oh, no, they already have gained control. My bad. And now they will go ahead and tick up above at 68%.
And Freeze waiting, stalking, has the EMP. Oh, he's been spy checked.
He has been, but he actually almost kills
He
that
couldn't get the Mega!
Oh, but MN3, he greeds to try to get the Mega Pack. It's taken out, and Fitz finds Aim God. Now it's just Fixa. Belstria can buy some time with the Primal. Leaps into the corner. Smurf as well, ready to match at the drop of a hat. Belstria, okay. Seems like they just say that we have a little bit of time on our side. We're up by around 20%. Just die, reset, save the ults for the next fight.
Yeah, they win that next fight, Seth. They got a good chance of taking the round. They're at 92%. Lose it, however, we're in that final fight territory by the time this kicks off. Seoul Dynasty. This will be the map, the fight, I think, that decides this round. Potentially the map if Dynasty take it. Carpe has a pulse available.
Oh, but
Profit's
there
already
we
gone.
go. The EMP comes out from MN3, and they manage to find Profit. Starting the fight off with the right foot forward. Carpe, pulse still in hand, waiting for a moment to use it. Primal comes out from Smurf. He's trying to juggle Aim God into the corner as well as Fix Up. He's turned around, finally manages to isolate one. As for the other, desperately tries to break away, and he's managed to... Primal is there from Belazria. Shoves him back. Fix is going to be hounded down. Smurf gets the kill with the melee hit. 99% forced out. The flip getting ready to come through from the side of the Dynasty. EMP used by Fitz. Manages to come up with two. Him and 3 and Belastria both eliminated. Now Carpe basically alone trying to keep this one contested, but Benham gets up into his grill, kills him off with the right click, and that is going to be it. They cannot retouch. The OT does not get forced because Dynasty was not at 99 already, and even if it was, I don't think anybody was going to be in range to take it, but very well fought here from the side of the Fusion. They made this a hell of a lot more competitive than we might have anticipated, given that Zest is not in the starting lineup. But Dynasty, in the end, are able to take this map 2-0.
Hopefully that extends throughout the rest of the series. We've had a good set of 3-0s, 3-1s as we've had yesterday and today. Hopefully we will find out that we can get a 5-mapper series. I hate for everyone to come down to this arena in Busan, only to be sent away after a quick one. Dynasty are leading after that first Nepal. We'll have to see what's next in the rotation. I believe we're going to have King's Road coming up next, Seth.
I think you may be correct, but hey, either way, the fans are getting a treat. Again, you know, there may be some Dynasty bias just because they are the team representing Korea overall. But, of course, you know, with full rosters of Korean players, there's plenty to cheer for here. So I don't think you're going to be walking away from this one disappointed as if you were a Fuel fan from earlier in the day. Anyway, that does it for map number 1. We are going to have Hybrid coming up next. We'll see what happens there. If the Fusion can continue to put up performances like this, if Carpe can continue to frag out of control on that Tracer when we come back from the break, so don't go anywhere. we are back. It's time to go into our second map of this series, as we had the Seoul Dynasty narrowly able to take 2 rounds in a row there on Nepal, but they certainly had to work for it. Philadelphia Fusion were fighting tooth and nail to try to get some round wins in their Trid.
Yeah, and it looks like we're not seeing any substitutions moving into map number 2. They're keeping more of the consistent lineup, and they're good to go. As a reminder, MN3 and Carpe into the mix. Carpe reminding us that Carpe can still do Carpe things. The trace performance really strong so far. It's going to be an option I feel will have to be pulled out many a time in the rest of this series as we look to head towards King's Row. And I think that that is probably going to be the look we see from the Fusion. MN3 on the Sombra, Carpe Tracer, and hopefully he keeps up the level of dominance he's seen so far.
It could be that. I mean, Carpe has also in the past shown us the Sojourn, or maybe Carpe himself would have looked to run the Sombra, and then you'd have MN3 on the Sojourn, something like that. Could also happen if you want to move away from the Tracer a little bit. Given the way that he was playing it, I think you just keep doing what you were doing, because Carpe, despite the losses, was looking incredible. And granted, look, it's hard to not notice it from time to time. You go back, you watch, you look at comments online. There's a lot of people saying that Carpe's washed. Those people are idiots. Because while he has had some struggles and whatnot in this season, he's also just got 2 incredible DPS players on his lineup that have had more playtime than him. And that's just kind of the way that it goes. But right now, he comes back in here and he's looking to shut down the naysayers and say, you know what, I am still here to play. I might be the most veteran player on this, well, not on this stage, but pretty damn close to actually on this. Maybe he is actually the most veteran player on this stage now that I come to think about it. But, you know, he is still here to play. He still has the ability. He's got the gift.
It's nice of Carpe to stand up for all the boomers out there and knock down these rookies on his team, the Zoomers that have taken over the positions on the damage lineup, and like I said, to give everyone a reminder of what made this player great and why they're still great. Getting ready to jump into our next map. Looks like all the teams are now ready after a brief delay. And let's see if Control was a fluke, or whether the Fusion are actually going to be this competitive throughout the entire series. Jumping into the game, King's Row, our next destination.
That it is. You were correct. And then I'll just go ahead and mentally check this one. Route 66 New Queen Street, Ilios. Boom.
Yep.
Got it. Won't forget it. I'll go ahead and jump into this. See if Fusion can go ahead and tie up the score. I'm just doing some extra checking here. And I actually do believe that Carpe is the most veteran player on this stage, because he would have gotten his start all the way back at the beginning of Apex in Season 1 when he was on BK Stars. There's the famous clip of Taimu headshotting him when he was playing Genji point blank range on Volskaya Industries. What is Volskaya Industries, you ask? Well, it's a map that used to be in the game that now isn't. Anyway, yeah, Overwatch 2 babies, there's some history for you. We'll go ahead and get into this one, though, and see if that veteran status can continue to shine through.
I can't wait for this map to end, Seth, for you to go right on to Junkertown. Completely forget what that third map is going to be. We're seeing the lineups come in. It's the Seoul Dynasty on defense first, so we have a little bit more confidence talking about their lineup to start things off. Smurf staying on the Winston. That's not going to be a problem for that man in particular. And then we see Iris and Vendame with the Brigitte on a backline. Profit Fits on the Sombra Tracer. Double hit scan. Please run Widow Hanzo to open this one up, Billy.
All right. Quick shot into the Brig Shield. Swap over. He's taking his time with it. Fitz was waiting for him. Smurf going to be taking a nap around the corner, so he's pushed around to safety.
Now the fight can actually commence. Yeah, the rafters pretty much controlled. All the high ground is theirs. Fusion are rotating slowly around to the point. Carpe just doesn't seem to care. He'll just go in whenever he feels like it. That's an isolated Bellaria.
Oh, that he is. Goes low. Has the bubble up, though, and they can't break through it fast enough, so does manage to make it out, much like MN3. He's playing forward, trying to build up towards that EMP, but right now Fitz is well ahead. Doubling his charge for now. Shield at the ready. You can see Fixa kind of constantly flicking back and forth left and right, so knows that he's going to be a big hack target, so he's trying to avoid that, but instead Fitz chooses wisely, goes over to Aim God. MN3 now going to be swapping, so will be that Sojourn Tracer Rather than Sombra coming through, he's going to try to make this one work. Says, you know what, we need a little bit of extra burst damage, try to get some punish, so we'll see if the rail shots can connect.
And needs to find the right angles, though. They're playing the corner. They've not given the Fusion a lot of space to play with and really abuse some longer sight lines. And at a certain point, Carpe's going to be dealing just as much damage as you are when it gets to that close range. Pulse Bomb online. He sees 2 targets right there in Hotel that he might dash into with an explosive entrance in a second. But it fits with the EMP sitting in the back line, ready to go.
Yep. And naturally takes up, but he manages to find 4 for his trouble. Fixa hanging on by a thread. MN3, however, able to find Smurf. Punishes the dive forward, so they only lose out on 1. It is the mana boost that is taken away from them, however. They've got now going to be respawning, looking to come back through as Carpe and Prophet do get out of the hotel. Pulse Bomb still going to be held. Prophet rotates around to Mega. Grab this from someone now is actually going to be healed up. Belshry trying to contest onto the high ground. Finds Iris, but again, there's no one else really playing this position, so there's no punishment to be found. Belshry continues to harass out. Nano for Nano, both goes over to the Winstons. Carpe lets the Pulse Bomb go. Does not find an elimination. It's going to be a trade of supports. The Winstons find some kills, but Belshry with the Primal Pop gets the second one. Iris taken down. Fixa trying to stay alive. Smurf chases him up here into the movie theater. Hits him against the wall a couple of times, but has not been able to finish him off, and now the rally is instantly going to be popped from Fixa as he goes right back over towards the point. Carpe gets fits, and that should be the Fusion finally breaking through.
I don't think they can fully break through unless MN3 finds a pick here with the railgun. There will be a recontest that comes through.
The rallying for it.
So.
Can't tell the Prophet. He gets shoved back. Overclock at the ready now for MN3. Armor Pack's going forward, but Smurf is still going to be taken down. He was just completely by himself. Not enough healing focused into him, so he ends up falling, and that is the lockdown. Fusion now 3 minutes 35 seconds as we go into the streets phase. Granted, not one of the larger time banks that we have seen on this map as of late, but a cap is a cap.
Dave so distracted by the flankers coming in here as Fitz will take a railgun shot to the head and get taken out. A little bit of way to come back to them, but Vinde's so distracted with these flankers, he wasn't able to follow up with Smurf, get in range and use that rally to help with some of the healing to keep him sustained on the point. Smurf left out to the wind just to die on point at that point. Well, the recontest is over. Coming in from the Seoul Dynasty, Philadelphia Fusion have a sizable part of putting the ball in.
Prophet finding him in 3 around the corner. He and Carpe pretty much neck and neck as far as these pulse bumps are concerned. I mean, Carpe, he let his go after Prophets, and he's already beat him to the next one. Has been doing some serious work here for the Fusion as far as the damage output is concerned. Prophet just dashing out around opposite side of the cart, gets himself back over towards his teammates.
My ultimate is charging.
Railgun charge.
Here, Overclock. We'll use the one in the chamber and then look to expend it.
Oh, he connects so very low. Nearly finds an elimination. The Honest going to be traded out in the end all the same. Got dead, and again, Belshry manages
Prophet
to stomp in, finds Vinheim. Now supportless are the Seoul Dynasty. Profitless as well as Carpe gets the melee shot to finish him off. Fix it, does get taken down. Smurf trying to keep them in this as much as humanly possible, but he's got to make his exit, get ready to recontest as the cart gets ready to arrive at B.
He can get some heals. There will be sustained for Smurf to get up there. Hiding around the corner. Primal Rage should be able to online this fight, provided he doesn't get forced off too early. Bella's very hacked. He too has the option of a Primal Rage should the fight get extended long enough. Overclock available for MN3 once more.
He's playing quite far back now, goes sliding forward. Seems like they want to maybe take the fight here pretty darn soon. Carpe needs to get topped up. Belshry putting the bubble down, trying to cut off some of this healing from Smurf, but it's just not enough throughput to really get the punish now. He's going to go jumping into the back line. Nanoed up. Primal trying to get built here. MN3 tries to slide away from him, and it misses there for the alley-oop. They find the kill. Quick punish does get found. Belshry going low, now going to be antied out. Primal does come in. Smurf, however, still relatively healthy, now has an ult of his own. Goes down, he's continuing to limit test, falls to 80 HP without popping it, and he's going to keep it for the next fight as Prophet is able to find Seoul on the back end.
Yeah, and that could be the last fight as well, Seth. We're in a 1 minute time bank right now. Primal Rage, Smurf, it's available. Carpe's Pulse Bomb needs to be a bunker buster. Donation of ult charge over to MN3, who switch over to might be able to get an EMP online for this fight. Needs a lot of work to get that done though.
He does. Things slow down for a brief moment. Pretty soon they're going to ramp up. Carpe with the pulse. can be the one to really open up the rest of this attack and get them the hack. That extra minute and a half time bank bump up. And then through the hack on the Prophet doesn't really lead to too much. Carpe playing out of the subway.
There's no one
Looking around for a target, spots him on the high ground though, and yeah, good luck getting to him. Fitz is guard to the back door, Prophet guard to the front. Now EMP at the ready, and everybody is clustered up. This could be absolutely monstrous, and it is! The EMP comes in, but Prophet's going to be the first one to finds the kill. The Nano out to Velstria. Carpet lets the pulse pop go. Doesn't find an elimination from way, but still gets on the Finham. Imgod going to be taking and one, but then gets hacked out the corner, and MS pretty finished off. Just like that, the fusion, they turned the EMP, no matter how massive it was, completely on its head. The kills come through with Prophet out of the fray. There's just not enough damage to be able to find the kills. And that is going to be the fusion, making it to an extra minute and a half now to try to finish the map.
They just got away with murder, Seth. That 4-man landed and Anti came into the mix as well. They should have had way more of those kills converted, but they were unable to do so. Fusion weathered a storm, turned it back on the Seoul Dynasty, and now we're into point C. There is 1 minute left on the time bank though, so it can be still held here. Double support ultimates available for the Dynasty. Pulse Bomb for Profit, but it's MN3's EMP that's online. Can they find more success than the Dynasty did on their last attempt?
Well, Carpe's going to be taken down, so that certainly slows them up for now. With 52 seconds remaining. They're going to have to just go for the reset, wait until they have Carpe at their sides. Crucially, though, you mentioned the EMP from MN3, but the support ults are there from the Dynasty. Finham, he would get the rally canceled, but can have it for the back end of the fight. Just wait and see what happens.
30 seconds. They're going to do this in OT if they do it at all.
Yes.
Support's found with the EMP.
Okay, EMP from MN3 goes out. Finham going to be taken down. Iris tries to keep him alive, not going to work. Both supports now out of the fight. Big opening here for the fusion, but they need to get this cart rolling, make sure that it still keeps moving up, but they have to also peel for the back line because Smurf continues to harass around those angles.
Good
Recall
storm.
burn. They get out of this line. Tries to escape. They pile him in. They try to get the body block, but he manages to break through. Pulse Pump now can be thrown down at the ground. Doesn't find the elimination. The rally rolling from both of the Brigidas. Velstria playing up close, leaps back over the cart. Smurf goes up onto the high ground. Primal Rage still at the ready. Aim God, another nano. He's hacked. Just 30% away. He can have that one built up very swiftly. Velstria going to be antied out. He gets the juggle. He's looking for the kill here onto Iris. Smurf is going to be taking a nap, so he cannot heal for him. And Iris ends up going down. Prophet as well, dead to a shield bash from Fixa. Velstria zaps his way to his second kill. We look for a little bit more from the side of the fusion if they want to be able to make their way all the way to the end. There's just a couple meters left to go. Smurf now going to be taken down. Fitz desperately tries to swap over to the Widowmaker, but they don't have anybody to occupy the cart. Prophet had to recall away from it, so in overtime, despite the low time banks, Fusion will make it to the end of King's Row.
That's an unfortunate EMP as well that came in from Fitz. He only hit MN3 with it, despite there being a large cluster of Fusion players. And he just dies immediately afterwards as well, not finding value from that at all. And then obviously you see the Primal Rage getting picked off by Belosrea. He's just able to elongate the fight, jump around, cause all this havoc for the Seoul Dynasty, and ultimately allows them to cap. Now, this does put them in a precarious position though, Seth. They did finish in OT, so if Dynasty finish with a 1 minute time bank, they can guarantee they won't lose this map. They have to actually get all the way through the streets phase, and it's so good to see that the Fusion are keeping this series competitive still, despite some last-minute roster struggles.
Yeah. See if they can get it done. And what the Fusion are going to be running, looking right now like MN3 is going to be coming out with the Sojourn. Carpe, of course, sticking to the Tracer. Smurf maybe tooling around with the idea of going for the Zarya, something that has been an incredibly strong pick for him.
See they roll out with it indeed, but we're going to keep MN3 on the Sojourn. Carpe on the Tracer. Prophet Genji goes for a quick deflect. Going to roll out with it, it looks like. They're not returning to spawn just yet.
Yeah, no, they are not. Prophet Genji has been incredibly strong at times throughout this season. Quick hop here on to Fit, sends him back into the spawn room. Get some decent percentage gains, though. Anti-connects on the 2. Prophet and Finham both eating that one. Finham, he bites the dust. Carpe plays off the back of that setup there beautifully. Finds the first kill of this defense.
M3 is going to slide back to the point. So Dynasty have begun to take some space. Prophet's going to challenge M3 up on this high ground, keep him out of there. Venezuela tries to buy some space. Oh, doesn't quite convert the kill though.
Can't quite get it. Needed somebody else to help break that Zarya bubble a little bit faster if they wanted to get the punish. Instead, Prophet does manage to make his way out. And it's relatively healthy, but it's taken down as Carpe finds yet another elimination. He's just 30% off from that pulse bomb being online as well. M3 slides in behind the car, breaks line of sight, gets the headshot on a Prophet. There's a huge shutdown. The Dynasty currently contained in the choke.
They'll just have to back out here. It's pretty standard. Prophet and Fitz really struggling to get on the board with ultimate charge here, trailing massively behind the overclock that MN3 is about to have online, as with the pulse bomb from Carpe. Smurf, these fights aren't going long enough for him to build up enough energy, but there's a nano boost. They want to try and accelerate this.
They do, but yeah, that's going to be the anti coming through. Forces a bubble now. Pelisria just immediately is there. Johnny on the spot to just gatekeep Prophet, keep him away from the rest of the squad. Carpe, however, just can take it down. Prophet finding that elimination. Pelisria leaping back through the archway to try to stay safe down to a sliver of HP. Says, you know what, I've got this primal rage. I can go for an extended fight if we contest this. The 2 ticks have to be given up. MN3 now, overclock pop, they go diving forward, they're trying to find the elimination. Onto him, and they will have it. Prophet deflects the rail back into his face. Carves up Aim God to boot. And Pelisria still uses the primal, but now is hacked out. There's only so much you can do. They'll drain the time bank down just a little bit here. As the EMP even's going to be used to go ahead and finish him off.
Fitz better change. That's borderline inexcusable.
I'm not sure about that one, Chief. Already, they start off with 30 seconds up compared to what we saw, but Fitz committing to that. I guess he was so worried about any potential reinforcements that could come back in. Pelisria wasn't dead right in that moment, but he's going to be wishing that he still had it if they get held to the archway now.
Big problems for them if they can't break through this defensive hold. That's all the way back.
Get on Fixa, has the protect.
Careful, this one. Vindame low.
M3 safe, and Hindham taken down. They've got able to snipe him, it would seem. Iris as well, falling down to about half HP. Obviously can't really self-sustain. Let's just wait for bio nades to come up, otherwise go grab some health packs and wait for Vindham to rejoin.
They've tried to lock someone in the corner. They know he's going to be back all the way with his team now, so we'll have fun another route of ingress. Smurf has that grab online, first one of the series.
He's also got decent energy right now.
Yeah, sitting at 55. We get a nano
Sees
top
the
of this.
supports.
Grab finds both the back line.
It catches him. Pionate down. Aim God buys him a little bit of extra time. Rally rolling as well to fix him means that he does stay alive.
Energy
now
gone.
eliminated. The sound barrier not going to be there in time to save him. Carter gets a pulse out onto Iris, and the Fusion are turning the fight. They lose Aim God, but they win out in so many other regards. Prophet as well. Going to get staggered here on the back end. 2.5 minutes now remaining for the Dynasties. The Fusion continue to pile this one very well. They're playing on the knife's edge, but more often than not, they are not the ones getting cut.
2 minutes 20 left in the time bank. Seoul Dynasty really struggling to break through this hole that the Fusion have right now. Graviton surge onto the back line. Unable to convert more than one, and then after that, MN3 slides in and just takes out Smurf, who's now gone over to the Winston, knowing they're probably going to have to use the Monkey to break through this instead. Nano boost available for Iris. Could donate that over to Prophet for a Nano Blade. So only got a Nano boost for Aim God to try and mitigate that. Battle's Rare could also buy some space for that Primal Rage. A lot of tools to try and shut this down. Waiting for their time to strike. Carpe, Nano boosted.
Nano on a Carpe. When's the last time he's received one? Feels like it's going to have to have been a damn long while. Prophet completely zoned back by M3, shoved around the corner, and Carpe goes in for the execution. Gets the kill. And the 2 committed from Dynasty find absolutely zero value. Pelisria taking a nap, so won't be able to chase all the way into the spawn room for some extra kills, and never mind, he's woken up. He's not going to be able to get anything else off of that one, but with 1 minute 28 seconds remaining, the Fusion look very well poised to pull this.
Carpe stalking once more, finding a stealthy path into the back. He's going to assassinate one of these targets in this final fight. He's getting some intel.
Going to give it a shot.
Pindiana, he knows he's going to go straight for Iris.
Oh, okay, a little bit botched, but you know, that's what it is. Doesn't get that one, but Pelisria going to be taken down the front line now, broken open for the Dynasty. Fitz down to a sliver of HP, manages to make his way out of there. Iris still under fire. Vindham desperately tries to keep him sustained, cannot, but It's a bloody brawl back and forth as Prophet finds 2, Carpe gets 1. The cart, however, is sliding forward. They know that Carpe is behind them. It does put potentially Iris at a bit of risk, as I think he does need to rejoin the squad. Fusion, they should be able to get a recontest here. 38 seconds remaining. Dynasty, they need to break through now.
Force off the cart. Got that Primal Rage and the Rally. Lots of sticking power for the Seoul Dynasty.
We don't have much time
If
left.
it's Pulse Bomb, if it's ZMP, all the tools are here for them. 20 seconds remaining, they just have to have an execute that they've been lacking on King's Row so far.
Rally's rolling. Pulse bombs up, both the tracers now. Cart stops 2.78 meters away. MN3 overclock now, going to be popped the EMP. Coming around the flank. If you can find MN3, that would cancel it. I believe he does hit him, and actually, no. Never mind, not going to find the cancel. Just gets the headshot instead. MN3 puts him in the dirt, but Smurf with the primal pops gets on top of Aim God. Now that's going to be supportless for the side of the Fusion. Carpe take it down. They'll just go ahead and cleave out the rest. So another minute and a half added. Seoul Dynasty can absolutely still take this to extra innings. All ults pretty much expended, but we have 2 about to be, now actually 3 about to be online for the side of the Fusion.
Yeah, the Fusion has done an excellent job here, Seth, because now it doesn't matter if the Dynasty finish, they will have another attempt at this. They're not going to finish with over a minute time back, because they will not be locked out of winning this series and going to equalize it all. Dynasty need to complete, and then we'll get those second innings you alluded to. Seems like a tall order at the moment as well, with only 1 minute remaining and all those ults to fight against. There's nothing in the tank for the Dynasty. They need to try and trade up quickly and get one last neutral fight.
Target identified there for a brief moment, but Vinheim takes the shield bash, exit out. Belstria, primal pop. Smurf going to be taking a nap, so again, that backline peel not really available, but the backline access also not quite there for the side of the Fusion. Iris and Fitz still do get picked. MN3 with a great rail headshot gets rid of the enemy Sombra. Fusion chase all the way forward towards the spawn room doors. 30 seconds now remaining. Any additional staggers would be catastrophic, and fortunately for the Dynasty, the rest of them do make it out to safety.
Maybe the Rally, maybe the Pulse Bomb is what you're going to be playing with the Dynasty. You still need to get through the Nano Boost and a Pulse Bomb with Carpe, and he's lurking again. He's going to find his path into the backline, Steph. If he gets a pick, it's all over for the Dynasty.
Just waiting for the call to come in. Still hidden. Hasn't been spotted yet. Nano out, aggressive push forward. Carpe take it down. Fitz finds him with a rail shot. Cart, however, needs to be contested. Looks like they have tagged in. Belstria, however, gets both of the supports once more. Smurf dead as he tries to drop down. He forces out the OT for a little bit longer, but the cleanup is coming through, and the Fusion are making it happen. They successfully defend the cart here in front of point C, and they will tie up this series 1-1.
Well played by them. Not missing a beat. Sloppy execution from Dynasty. Questionable ult usage at times as well. Does not change the fact that this is working for the Fusion. Able to send Belazrea in and just uncontested on that backline at the end there. Felt like Iris was left out to dry. You got no supports to try and fight the point at all. Just crumble, and the rest of the team will follow.
We're starting to see a little bit more of that disjointedness that plagued the Dynasty in their series versus Hangzhou Spark. Now against the Philadelphia Fusion. They tied up at 1-1. They very well could take this series away, and that would not be a result that anybody anticipated, just given the situation that the team finds themselves in. But right now, everybody is playing absolutely beautifully. Carpe in particular, after some time away, I mentioned that maybe the blonde hair, this is him going Super Saiyan. It's certainly looking like it, Trid, because damn is he popping off. You can see the wry smiles coming through. Maybe a little bit camera shy. Needs to get used to that one. It's been a little while since it's been anything other than a webcam in front of his face, so get readjusted.
Oh, that's adorable. That's adorable. AimGod just can't tolerate it. It's okay, you're doing amazing. Someone give AimGod a hug.
He and the rest of the squad looking great so far. Tied up 1-1, no one in the lead. Escort will go ahead and put somebody at match point, but if Fusion continue to play like this, could very well be them walking away with the advantage. We'll see what happens after we come back from the break. So don't go anywhere, guys. The action continues in just a few. And we are back and all tied up 1-1. The Fusion able to resurge. They played a close game all ready to begin on Nepal, but coming into King's Row, they look dominant. Barely managed to make it to the end of the map. They finish with no time left in the bank, but they deny the Seoul Dynasty from even touching the end of that map. So very well done by them. So we are neck and neck as we get ready to go into Escort.
Yeah, we'll be heading over to Route 66, if memory serves me correct. Seen a few roster moves. We might have substitutions come in, but we'll double-check that as that happens. Seems like Smurf's definitely into Seoul Dynasty, of course, and they're not going to change up their roster.
That one's not going to change.
Yeah, exactly.
This Prophet really wants to hit all 3 in a season.
Yeah, actually, let's see Prophet hit the trifecta. You know, play a game as tank.
If anybody could do it, I would say, you know what, Prophet is probably capable of doing it somewhat decently, especially if he was going to play something that's a bit more damage-centric. I mean, obviously, he does play Echo from time to time, so he is somewhat familiar with playing things like the Winston and whatnot. But if he wants to try his hand at Azaria, I would allow it. I would definitely be interested enough to see it. But given the stakes of this series being played in front of an audience, it's not going to happen.
You saw what happened when Dia played Junker Queen, right? Like, competing huge, incredible stats. Like, if we had Junker Queen meta, maybe Prophet got some playtime. Like, yeah, I could see him doing that again. No, there has actually been a substitution for the Seoul Dynasty, Seth. No longer going to have Prophet's combo. Stalker coming in for Fitz, it looks like.
Okay. And... no, he's going to... Yeah, Prophet coming is out. Stalker in. So not something that we've seen. Oh no, I see what they're doing.
Stalker Fitz.
We are playing some musical chairs. I see where Prophet's at now. Okay.
Oh
so, yeah.
wait, yes.
Stalker is subbing
out.
Yeah, it's happening again. Okay.
All right, so Prophet Brigitte. Okay.
Interesting. Just get some attention here. Make sure that you see the see the camera. Give some thumbs up, and yep, we did see Belsria was packing up his things at the end of that, but yeah, just kind of sliding down towards the end of the table. It would seem is Prophet.
All right, a bunch of substitutions then. Vindame out, Stalker in. Prophet switches from damage to support. Fury comes in to replace Belazrea as we head over to Route 66, our third map of this series. All tied up between the Seoul Dynasty and Philadelphia Fusion, playing live from Busan.
I mean, all right, I'm all about it. Already a wild series back and forth between the two. I mean, we were joking about some of the swaps happening, but I didn't really actually anticipate that this was going to be making a return in this series. Granted, as far as the stakes go, I mean, like I said, you're playing in front of a crowd. You want to be able to walk away victorious, especially if you are the Dynasty, since you're playing on home soil. But this, in the grand scheme of things, I guess, doesn't really adjust too much, given that they are a lock for playoffs, as are the Philadelphia Fusion. But you see Prophet very much still very cheery about falling back into this previous role from the previous meta.
Never quite goes away. It's just like riding a bike.
The Brigitte.
Yeah.
That's a bike that long ago people would have been begging to have stolen, so it has changed to become a lot less oppressed. Yeah, the Philadelphia Fusion, that's something that they know about, because bikes get stolen all the damn time.
In Philly.
I remember going to college at Temple University, and people always took their tires with them to class because the tires were more valuable than the frame of the bikes. So you take your own tires off and take them with you. But here we go. We can focus up and get ready to get geared up for Escort. It's going to be Route 66. And then from there, we are at least guaranteed to see New Queen Street, which, again, for the Fusion, if they're able to win on Route 66, you really start favoring them going into that push map just because it's New Queen Street.
A big opportunity to be able to close out the series in a 3-1 scoreline. If it goes that way, we know how much they love that map. Seth, we saw it yesterday. As we already talked about, Route 66. See what the rollout is of Prophet. Probably going to get some Brigitte play time, but Stalker and Fitz in being the damage duo this time around. So I expect Stalker to maybe not stay on the Hanzo the entire series. We'll probably see him change over, but we'll talk about the Fusion for now. Fury's in, D.Va out. And of course, everyone else stays relatively the same. AimGod going over to the Zenyatta this time as well. And, I mean, they played fantastically yesterday. How lethal were they with this robot?
Alrighty, well, no overarching changes really here for the side of the Fusion. AimGod back onto the Zenyatta, which we know he can find an immense amount of impact with. And Prophet, I'm curious if this is just going to be a starting dart or something, or no, it looks like he's going to go out the gate with the Ana. Just be playing this one. Stalker, of course, sends out the recon arrow, now swaps over. He's going to be playing the Tracer.
Prophet Ana. Wasn't expecting to see this today when I looked up. Surely the aim is transferable. Well, maybe frags heavy.
Already MN3 in the bad spot. Taken down, Stalker, able to find the kill. First blood is his. Smart down low as far as the HP is concerned for a bit there, but Prophet just going to go ahead and start pumping those left clicks through. Try to build up towards the nano, and right now he is outpacing Fixa.
How good is it going to feel when he nails a sleep dart, having been on the receiving end of so many of them over his career, to be able to get some revenge against pro players in this series?
Cathartic, I'm sure.
Yeah.
We'll see if he's able to get it done. That and lob some nice nades through. Either way, MN3 not having a good go of it. Stalker really watching him from the shadows now is out here to play. Finds that elimination once more. Fury going to be antied out, broken out of the mech. Sleep Dart not going to do anything there for Fixa to try to peel for his squad. Carpet just managed to get rid of Smurf, but the Baby Demon gets finished off by Fury, who's, you know, just pilot pistoling his way through. Prophet finishes him off with the Bionade, but now the turnaround starts to come in. AimGod finding Stalker. Carpe gets both of the supports, a pulse for one, a melee hit for the other. Takes down one of his longtime rivals in Prophet.
All right, ultimates across the board for the Dynasty. They got themselves a Nano Boost, EMP, Pulse Bomb combination. Fusion lacking a little bit. Fixer will get the Nano on time. Could be a good save for AimGod if he gets under the pressure of both the EMP and Stalker running in. Fizz is in position. He knows what...
Oh, he's so close to getting spy-checked.
Yeah, he needs to be careful, but he has to wait for reinforcements. Has to wait for reinforcements, though he can't pull the trigger just yet. No one's in room to really follow up yet.
It's just amazing that he hasn't been found. I mean, they know that he's going to be
so
sniffing around the back lines, and there you go. The EMP comes in. AimGod instantly receives a nano. Now has the Transcendence available, but it's not going to be needed yet. Prophet taken down by Carpe once more with the melee hit. And I can't help but think what Carpe has been sitting back, saying, you know what, I have not been on the front lines. You've got a good amount of opportunity to really take the lead firmly in the kill. And Carpe now is out for blood. Shuts him down once more. Fury, however, does get traded. AimGod pops the Transcendence, so we'll go ahead and try to elongate the fight, but MN3 dealt with once more. He's just rushing forward. Iris very happily catches him in the head with one of those orbs.
Yeah, he was trying to catch Iris off the back end of that Transcendence, and he just got found out. Wasn't able to get in position.
Carpe pulse bomb, gets Smurf, denies the remake.
What's his accuracy?
Carpe, though, ends up going down. Stalker finding that elimination in the end, getting the better of the enemy Tracer. But EMP pulled through by MN3. And it might just be enough to turn the tides. 1.5 meters left to go. The kill still being found. See Fitz playing forward, down low on HP. MN3 gets some healing here. Dashes back, and now the card's going to roll back. And the Fusion, they managed to hold here.
All right, sub 1 minute remaining. Not many fights left in the tank. Maybe only one if it's a slow burner. Fitz has that EMP again. No Nano Boost to save AimGod this time around for the Philadelphia Fusion. They convert that. Oh boy, it's going to be big in Dynasty. We'll get a second life in this Route 66. Translocator destroyed. No teleport out. Backline found. EMP
that
online.
Much more at risk. Good damage was there. Doesn't want to stick around to try to find the kill, but EMP at the ready. Iris going to be antied, hugging around the corner, up in the canyon. Pulse bomb out, not going to find the stick. Goes a bit wide there from Stalker. Prophet tagged up, Fixa finds the elimination. They knock him out. Drop down now around the back. EMP in response. Fitz tries to turn this one around for his squad, but instead he gets clipped. It's taken down. O team will be forced out. They need to try to win this fight somehow, some way. And with Smurf getting knocked into the back, I just don't think it's going to happen. It seems like the Fusion once more are going to pull up a full hold here on Route 66. Stalker dealt with, can't get out of Big Earls. And there it is. 1.5 meters is as close as they get. Fusion, hold strong.
Oh, we're going to New Queen Street, aren't we, Seth?
Oh, yeah.
We're going to New Queen Street, and Fusion
I mean, we're going
there
there no matter what.
I know, but like we're going to go there at match point Fusion. Like,
yeah,
I can see it already. And then we're going to go there. Fusion going to close it out. 3-1 scoreline. Seoul Dynasty just sandbagging in the last week of the Countdown Cup. Oh, no.
Well, now, not sure if we have a pause or if these are just some crowd shots as we wait to go over into the next round. But either way, Dynasty certainly have their work cut out for them. A fuller hold is what is necessary if they want to take the lead and have that much better of an opportunity. Because, again, with New Queen Street on the horizon, Fusion, they're going to be chomping at the bit to be able to get this win, deliver a second loss to the Dynasty here in the Countdown Cup qualifiers. Looks like we will be getting things underway. So we take a look at what they have pieced together. It's, again, Prophet coming out for the defense with this Ana. No real changes being made on either side, it would seem.
At which point you got to ask the question: why is Prophet in? Like, if you're just going to play Ana, I feel like
Honestly,
you have better options here for the support.
I mean, you didn't have to put Prophet in, I suppose, to the support line, but I wouldn't be that shocked if they're like, let's give Stalker some stage time ahead of the playoffs.
Oh, I totally get that.
Since we
Yeah,
know that
totally
they're going
get
to be,
that.
you know, we know he's going to be playing on stage in Anaheim and whatnot if they decide to field him, so maybe they want to get some of that experience, but it doesn't necessarily mean
translocator.
the Prophet has to play Ana, but, you know.
No, I get that. I think Stalker should have been coming in here, but do you need Prophet on stage every map, even if he's off-rolling, or even onto a hero that doesn't usually play or hasn't played? Like, when you see Prophet, you're like, okay, I'm going to play Pukita. That's what Dynasty are going to roll with. Instead, they're on an Ana. I don't know. I just feel like you could have had Iris and Vindame in this one, you know?
Yeah. They could also just be having fun. Can't really discredit that. First time land here in Korea in quite some time. Why the hell not? Just have a cheeky little swap. Pay some, little fan service. Smurf trying to spy check, hunt down MN3, who, despite having a bit of a rough go of it on that attack, on that defense, helped deliver that full hold to his squad. Card already inched up to the corner of Big Earls. As the shots go flying, Stalker nearly picked off. He is leading considerably right now as far as the pulse is concerned. He's going to have it up right now as he goes diving into the back line. Fury rotates over to try to get some protection for his squad. Keeps the supports alive, eats the pulse, and doesn't get broken out of the mech. So while he doesn't get the eat, it's still a positive result. And that's a huge one there as MN3 gets on top of Stalker and takes him out of the fight.
It's trying to get in position here. Nanoboot's going over after the hack. Fury there for Sweeper. They're not going to get this one through.
Just keeps him alive. Smurf eliminated, and that should be it. Well, Stalker and Fitz can go absolutely nuclear here. I don't think there's any way that you can really rescue this one. 1.95 meters left to go. Fitz does have it contested here for the moment. Has to translocate away. Is once more advancing. Stalker taken down. Fury runs him over, and it is a 2-1 lead for the Fusion. They clean things up here on Route 66, and with New Queen Street on the horizon, they have to be feeling so very good about their odds of taking this with a 3-1.
I hope we get some substitutions between the maps, Seth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can agree with that.
I'm hoping we don't see Prophet Ana in New Queen Street. I feel like, okay, look, I'll tell you what, we'll 900 IQ this one, Steph. Let's say that the Seoul Dynasty were like, all these fans came out to Busan, it's first time on land, we don't want it to end quickly, we don't want a 3-0, we don't want a 3-1, let's make this a 5-mapper. They'll come out next map, New Queen Street, slap the Fusion around hard, equalize it, going to map 5. Because they're doing it for the fans.
I mean, it's definitely within the realm of possibility just because it is the Dynasty. And you can already see Prophet is starting to undo some wires. So I think he's going to be sliding out of that support chair here in a brief little moment. But it's still such a tough task to try to take down the Fusion on New Queen Street. I mean, this is a team that bested the Shanghai Dragons. Granted, an out-of-form Shanghai Dragons, and set a league record for not just fastest push map ever, but fastest map, period. Just because of the way that it plays. So, work certainly cut out for them if they want to be able to win this and extend it all the way to 5. But if they can do it, then I am all on board. Otherwise, Fusion looking like they might just be able to take this one. We'll see what happens. So as the players give some cheers to the crowd, we'll go to a quick little break and we'll see New Queen Street on the other side. And we are back and maybe at the end of the line here for this matchup between the Fusion and the Seoul Dynasty. Fusion currently leading 2-1 after getting a full hold on Route 66. The Dynasty experimentation of having Prophet go over to Ana did not pay off whatsoever. In fact, it was a big bust. So we'll be bearish on that one moving forward.
And it's over, Seth. The experiment is over. They have their results. Going back to a little bit of the status quo.
Benhaim's back in for Prophet. Prophet's back in for Stalker. We'll carry on our merry way and potentially forget that it even happened. If, you know, they can win New Queen Street and go on from there, we can just go ahead and wipe this one out of the history books. Otherwise, if they lose on New Queen Street, which can be highly likely given the way that Fusion like to play this map, then, yeah, this is one that we will, unfortunately for the Dynasty, remember for a while.
yeah. I mean, look, I was thinking about it in the break as well, Seth. I mean, like, the seasonal positions aren't really going to change at all here. Philadelphia Fusion qualify for the playoffs already. I think the only thing that could change from this match if Fusion win is Fusion go from qualifying for playoffs when going from a negative win rate to a neutral win rate. That's the only thing that changes, really, because they got through like a negative match win rate over the course of the season, I believe. And so, like, if they win now, at least it equalizes. So we got a playoffs team that is somewhat positive, I guess.
Yeah, it's definitely a good thing to have happen, I guess. Give yourself a little bit more confidence moving forward into the playoffs. You can see here a hell of a lot of Dynasty fans. As you can see, the signs there for Smurf, Prophet, the Tigers thrown out there. Somebody actually drew a Smurf for Smurf. But there's a decent shout for Fusion in there as well.
Yeah, just buried behind all the soul signs for the moment. Hey, look, there's a Fusion one by a Pachimari. That's good enough.
I mean, that might be the actual bad Pachimari. It wouldn't shock me if he was like, I can go watch them live?
Well, he's not allowed to travel. He's on a couple of lists, you know?
That's true. Anyway, moving on from the no-fly list that Bad Pachimari finds himself on. Oh, boy. We'll see if Fusion can close this one out, because, honestly, one of the biggest boons, I guess, for Dynasty, one of the silver linings you could say going into this map, is that because Zest isn't here, they probably have to worry a little bit less about the bot being stolen away. Zest has been the great scamazer, I suppose, when it comes down to that. Yeah. He's often the one who sneaks that push bot right out from under the noses of his opponents. But we'll see if Carpe is going to be up to test. But right now, as far as the killing is concerned, Carpe has been just leaps and bounds above anything that we could have anticipated based on his absence, based on his last few performances from the many, many weeks or even months ago since we've last seen him play. So something tells me he's going to be perfectly fine when it comes down to filling into that role here on push as well.
Yeah, plenty of opportunity for them to strike and keep their performance consistent. A shining light of the Fusion when it's come around to this series. That this definitely wasn't the plan for today, I can imagine. Pretty sure they were expecting to play a lot of Zest and get them some stage time. But Carpe stepping in, having a game plan for the Fusion to be able to operate with, and like I said, just playing phenomenally. It's been a real big boon for them. Seoul Dynasty. Oh, buddy. Route 66. Let's try and forget about that one. Everything's back in order. Everything's reset. New Queen Street's home turf for the Philadelphia Fusion when you look at their map record. So let's win it. Take it to map number 5. Give the people in the arena a show and the people at home a good high note to end this week's action on.
Alrighty. Well, New Queen could be the decider. We'll see if Fusion can pick up 3 maps consecutively to be able to take this series away from the Dynasty. Best them here on that quote-unquote home turf. But of course, this is home for all of these players. All of them born and raised in the WDG arena, of course, you know.
Is there a maternity unit around the back of the screen?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Just all their families live in there. Yeah. There's a huge shared kitchen. Each family has their own fridge designated.
Yeah. Oh no, that's too much space. They have their own shelf in a fridge. We're playing by college accommodation rules.
I do not miss those.
No, I do not as well. I like having my own fridge.
I have missed seeing some competitive Overwatch stuff because we haven't had too much of it this weekend. So
true.
Let's see if the Dynasty can make it a little bit more competitive. Prophet going to be coming out the gates here on the Tracer. Fitz over onto the Sojourn. We're not going to be seeing one from Fusion. MN3 is here once more on the Sombra. They are spy checking the ever-loving hell out of him. They are searching. They are panicked. They have not found him.
I just really wanted us to cut to MN3's POV and have him like above them looking down.
Okay.
Oh, hello.
Well, there you go. That's one way to kick things off. Aim God loses his head. Fixa now completely stranded. We'll go ahead and get hounded down by Prophet at the end. Fury able to get Vinheim. A little bit of an answer back, but going up against the Zarya, there's just no way for him to mitigate the damage coming through. We'll see if he goes for a fast swap or sticks with the D.Va. Either way, it is going to be a complete wash here, as they're only able to find one single kill. Dynasty now got the bot pushing.
What if the Ana pick for Prophet was more of just a like, okay, I just need to rest my hands a bit and then I'll jump back onto the Tracer. It was just a way of like cooling down without actually leaving the stage. They're having a great performance so far, like running people down on the Fusion. Yeah, the supports got taken out early. That kind of killed. Fits under pressure.
Yeah, they look for the hack setup, but MN3 perfectly safe. They keep him alive with the Immortality Field. MN3 just continuing to try to find a target to farm off of, but Fitz gets fixed. Aim got dead. The support's out of the fight. Seoul Dynasty continue to excel. Fury once more trying to escape. Looks like he will be able to do so, at least for now. But around the back goes Prophet. Does take a good chunk of damage, I believe, from Aim God. So they stave him off. Fury still hiding somewhere, trying to keep the mech intact. He loses it. He lost it. Well, checkpoint acquired.
That's rough. Fury does find a chance to have a reset, thankfully.
Because there's no kills,
when...
they don't have to back away from this position. So the Dynasty are just going to keep hunting for more and keep the bot moving.
Yep. They don't need to stop. They don't need to pause. They have a window as well on some of these streets that can be lethal, Seth.
Okay. That's a good start.
What's going on here?
DPS together, able to find Iris. Fury's out of the mech again. Okay, but they get Vinheim. So Fury able to get another one. Smurf cleans that up. Prophet taken down. So finally in control here is the Fusion. They get a crack at this push now. But 70 meters, the checkpoint already out of the way. The forward spawn's still there for a little bit longer. So Prophet not going to get split spawn from the rest of the team. Dynasty can absolutely take this bot back.
They will just go for the hover hand. No connection there. Grab for Smurf, who's been on high energy for most of this game. Overclock won't find the connect. Fitz dips behind.
And once more. Nasty window up. See this, the flank pressure coming in. MN3 trying to peel them off that angle. We'll make them break line of sight for a little bit longer.
Great bubble.
And I believe Smurf actually saving Fitz. The stick was there, but it gets denied. Carpe still finds a follow-up, gets on top of Prophet. Self-destruct from Fury, able to find Iris. Now Smurf taken down. The Fusion are persevering. They're pushing through. They're finally going to get this bot moving and gain some distance for themselves as they pick up a team kill.
Barricade, moves successfully. Alright, stop shy just as a checkpoint if the Soul can get their stuff together. They have got a Graviton Surge to play with here. Aim God's Transcendence right in the pocket, ready to go when that important ultimate gets dropped. So they should be able to negate a lot of this out. They don't have an Ana as well, so they can't even mitigate the healing.
Yeah.
The option that Fixer will have themselves.
Exactly what I was about to say. But Fury, he has pursued way too forward. He's disconnected from the rest of the squad, gets taken out of the back. Vinheim finds those kills. The grab is in, and Aim God is just like, why in the hell would I use trance here? I'm not even near you guys, and we already lost the tank, so they just go ahead and give it up. They get to 39 meters, so a little over halfway there, but with the bot getting shifted back, it becomes so much worse for the Fusion.
God, it's such a waste of money. All these mechs being burnt up immediately. Fury just throwing them away with no regard for the cost and operation of them. Constantly just getting demeched all the time. Stick comes in. Fix is gone. Great start for the Dynasty. They're now playing with the support down. Aim God's going to have to use that Transcendence if they want to stay in this fight.
Trance now rolling. Mortality Field dealt with, but so is Carpe. Smurf, about moderate energy for now. Looks to build up some more, and yeah, he gets it very rapidly. Fury has just not been able to play the game as the D.Va right now. It's just no way to stop that damage from Smurf unless they can kill him. Fury is constantly going to be vulnerable to him. They dive forward to try to go for a bit of a reset, but instead he just pops another bubble, gets back up to 100, and you can see that, oh man, the movement from him is just so damn smooth.
Smooth. So smooth from Smurf to be able to do that. Makes it look easy. MN3 picked off late. Bot is pushing back, but How much territory Fusion still need to claim if they're going to win out this map now?
They took him from us.
It's going to be so tough to break through, especially when they don't have a full lineup ready to go on the bot already. Carpe's Pulse Bomb. Good to fly out here.
Just how much of those right clicks are dealing, and Smurf just continues to maintain this energy. Carpe again falling low. Still does hold on to the recall, at least for himself. Pulse Bomb gets let loose, doesn't find the stick. Overclock rolling from Fitz, sends one over towards Fury. Self-destruct going to be invested, gets chucked over towards them. He will manage to avoid it, but Ears cannot do the same. Profit dead on the back end. Aim God able to find that kill, and Smurf finally will go down. Finally gets his energy reset. That's going to be feeling pretty damn good for Fury to be able to be the one that pulls the trigger on it, but they're still in a dire spot. Dynasty are all going to respawn with that forward spawn. And they still have a considerable lead of nearly 60 meters.
Yeah, the Mega Health Pack room is a good pivot point for Dynasty to play around, but that bomb slotted in there while they were trying to escape. Picks up a lot of kills. Just helps Fusion convert it. As you said, Seth, really tough to break this one right now.
I like that with the first shot, so just send the nade out. Keeps him alive, and now the sleep dart is down. He's got to be wary. Taking a bit of damage. Prophet continues to really try to harass this back line. Nanobu's again going to be invested here onto Aim God. Carpe going to be taken down, so the peel opportunity is very much limited. Fixa, Aim God eliminated. Fury out of the mech and dead. And once again, the Dynasty, they give up quite literally a meter, and then they retake the bot.
The setup of push enables them to do that, but it's so decisive with the fight win. Smurfs able to just stay on point for so long and not allow free pushing. It's been a monster grabbing up this charge. Profit with the Pulse Bomb lingering. I don't think they know. They're not looking. Aim God's dead.
Oh, okay.
Nano!
Got that stick. Suddenly my feed just crashed, so I'm going to be casting off a little bit of a delay here.
Yeah, okay, so I can switch over. Fix is still looking here. Able to just follow down sight lines, just pumping damage in. Throws in a grenade, hits Smurf. He's antied at the moment. Gonna have the lamp to save him. Smurf still has that grab available. Aim God sitting on the Transcendence as well. Carpe's Pulse Bomb, he's hunting for Vindame. Won't find it as Fitz takes out Fixer. And then Freeze finally get a person to take down Fitz. Transcendence deployed. Smurf has overlap with the grab. He's going to lock them all together. Carpe runs out of the bubble because Fury switched over to Desire. 50% charge for them. It's removed. And now you have Profit. Throwing himself into the fight. MN3 wants to try and find Vindame. Low on HP, nowhere to go with the Translocator. They're keeping the bot, but Fusion retake it. Should be able to start pushing back towards the Seoul Dynasty.
Yeah, but they are running out of time right now. Minute 46 is, there we go. Feed comes back up for me. Thank you very much for covering Tread.
Switched over to PGM, so it's a little bit delayed with what I was saying.
Yeah, I was very much looking at the same. But we're back in now. We should be on point and on time. So MN3 hovering around the back of the statue right now. Has not been spotted. There you go. Pulled the trigger. Mortality Field comes in from Eris. He keeps him alive for now. They finally do manage to find Fitz, but MN3 gets traded. Eris getting that kill. Problem taken down. Should be the fight still one here for the Fusion. As they go ahead, clean him up. Vinham the last one, just buying some time, keeping the bot locked in place. But they have a minute and 5 seconds remaining. Fusion need to get some distance here. They're still waiting for Smurf and Vinham to respawn. They can get the bot back into a push position, but they still also have to go through this checkpoint.
Yeah, they're not even going to be able to get it, I think. They might be a little bit too slow before the contest arrives. They might even unlock those forward spawns.
Good sleep. Find Smurf. That's going to certainly slow them up.
Someone can still touch them. They have options here.
Getting closer. Aim God, however, gets railed. Grab goes in. Carpe plays off of it with a pulse bomb. Comes up with 2. Smurf and Fitz both taken down. Fury looking for a little bit more. Carpe was able to get Vinham. Profit eliminated. There you go. The bot can finally make its way to the checkpoint. And it should be done with its little break by the time that these respawns come through and the recontest gets ready to happen. But Fusion still have a good amount of distance to cover if they want to be able to close out this series right here, right now.
Profit actually snuck away the bot at the end there before that big explosion came in from Carpe. Could be quite big because it denied Fusion the forward spawns off the back of that fight. They did lose a couple of members. They've reset here to go. Overtime will be in effect. Still winnable for the Fusion. They need to win this next fight.
Good spy check there. MN3 takes a short hop out. They know exactly where he's at. Fury now under fire. The dash forward. Profit gets himself in behind the Zarya, and they're drawing his attention on both sides. Pulse bomb now at the ready. One of the bubbles going to be taken down. Prophet, however, slapped Carpe, finishes him off, just drilling those shots right into his head, but then Carpe ends up going out. Aim got dead as well with the Transcendence in hand. The cleanup will come through, and we are not done yet. Dynasty managed to shut down Philly Fusion on what should honestly be their home map of New Queen Street. They are so proficient at it, but here today, they end up suffering a loss, which means that we are going all the way into a map number 5.
Okie dokie. Seoul Dynasty, they just took way too much of an advantage early on into that map, Seth. Fusion really came alive towards the end, but the damage had already been done. You know, they managed to get Fury over onto the Zarya as well to match after an initial D.Va run. That's when they really started to get their stuff together. Maybe a note to take forward with them is that they need to put Fury on the D.Va to match a little bit sooner, and they might not concede as much territory as they did. And that lines it up for a Control to settle it all. And quite frankly, I'm really happy this is the way it's going to end, Seth. 5 maps for us, 5 maps for the audience, 5 maps for the arena.
And that's what it's all about, making sure that everybody is getting it, just their money's worth here on this one. So all the way into a map 5 between the Dynasty and the Fusion. Incredibly well played. Fusion looking like they were maybe going to be able to run it back, but just get pushed a little bit too far there at the very end. And now we go all the way into map number 5. One last round of Control to settle it all. See who's going to be walking away victorious and be getting the cheers from the audience. We'll see you guys at the opposite side of a short little break and see who walks away with the win. And we are back and going into a 5th and final map between the Seoul Dynasty and the Philly Fusion. Against all odds and expectations, Dynasty were able to close out New Queen Street to extend this all the way to a final round of Control. Winner takes all from here on out.
Yeah, it was nice of the Dynasty to get their silliness out on Route 66. Now it's back to serious Seoul Dynasty. They're able to come out into the final map. It's going to be a Control type to finish it off. I believe we're heading over to Ilios to get this done. Substitution in the break as well, Seth. We've had Belsria come back in for Fury, which makes sense knowing that the map choice is there. And there's no more shenanigans on the side of the Seoul Dynasty. They're back to the original starting lineup with the Prophets DPS duo.
That they are. So the little experiment not quite working out so much. And if you come out with the break, maybe we would have seen a different result. Maybe Dynasty would have already closed this series, but it's not worth us guessing and conjecting about because it didn't happen. The Ana happened, and we will again maybe not forget it depending on how this last map goes. Dynasty, they were barely able to win on that first map of Nepal, so it was a really good showing from the Fusion on Control. If they can do that again, improve just a little bit more now that they've gotten their warm-ups out of the way, they might just be able to clinch the series in the end.
All the teams are ready. We're just waiting for the go button to be launched. Take a final look at some of these signs. Might be the last time we see them until Anaheim later this year, because we go back to having a little bit of an online era until the final days of the Overwatch League this season. Love the artwork on the signs.
Oh, it's always been fairly unparalleled in esports. Well, one of the things is the signs that the fans like to bring out. You get some crazy artwork, some really nicely developed stuff, because obviously, you get the work done before you go to the venue. You take the time, do something super nice. But it's great to see that back here once again for Korean Overwatch. Can only hope that next year leads to a hell of a lot more in this. Carpe giving the fists there, saying fighting as he gets ready to go into the server once more. It's been a huge return to form for Carpe here today, and I think regardless of the result, at the very least, you could say that Carpe will have shut down the naysayers. Again, anybody who's out there saying, is Carpe washed? Or if they're watching this and they're saying, is Carpe unwashed? He never was! Shut your mouths! Anyway.
Sensing some underlying emotions there, Seth. Some frustrations.
I wouldn't even consider myself like a huge Carpe fan. Like, I've never been with the Carpe GOAT train, but I at least know that he is and always has been and still is a very good player. So I don't know why we're rewriting history and ignoring facts and data, considering that he's the second kill leader in the Overwatch League overall. But that's just what people like to do on the internet, I guess. Make up nonsense and conflate arguments for the sake of it. Enough about me and my gripes with the general public. Let's go ahead and get into this. It's going to be ruins to start things off for Ilios.
Yeah, I was worried we were getting a little old man yells at Cloud for a bit there, but it's nice to get back to the form.
I've
Take a look
been
at the
casting
composition.
this game for 6 years!
Since release. Oh my goodness. Alright, composition's fairly mirrored. Belsria is back in the roster. Expect the wind tone, and that's what we're getting. No
Alrighty.
support still in this either. Mega Pack already controlled by Dynasty, so Fitz did beat MN3 to the punch there. Gives them a little bit of extra control on the map, knowing that they've got that burst healing available.
Drop down as the aggression comes in. Hack goes out on the Belsria. The focus fire is looking great. Prophet is able to take the kill for himself. Picks up pulling back, breaks line of sight. Carpe will be able to find Vinheim though, as well as the lead towards the pulse bomb. Point does get conceded, however, goes over the way of the Dynasty, but Smurf tries to go in, gets hacked mid-air. Carpe shuts it down. Great play, and Fusion now looking for a very fast flip into their favor. Fit's going to be out of the fight, has to translocate away, and it's only 11% established here for the Dynasty.
Yeah, fast retake. That's what we like to see. Very reminiscent of what we had at the start of this series as well, Seth, where it was very back and forth about who was going to take what. Prophet. Ooh, pushed away. Carpe. Gonna live for now. Going for the duel, just missing out on the melee.
Belzria again hacked, anti. They cannot keep him alive. Prophet will once more find the kill. Pulse Bomb going to be invested there from Carpet, but doesn't lead to anything. No kills found. Pulse Bomb stick, however, from Prophet. That's going to take down Aim God. Fixa now left out to drive. Midheim finishes him with a whip shot. The Dynasty are very much similarly looking to get the fast flip back into their favor. So it's 34% set up for the fusion. Dynasty once more in control.
And I feel like Carpe and Prophet are playing a game of horse here, Seth. They're just trying to repeat each other's moves. Who can make the best shot? Who can find the kill? Who can kill the tank? Who can land the pulse bomb? And it is Prophet that is pulling ahead of Carpe in the start of Ilios. More of the same of that, and you can see Dynasty taking away with this one.
That's a bit of back and forth. Now Fitz getting into the back line. Spots Aim God, goes for the solo ult. Will be able to finish him off, and actually did clip Fixa as well, who just doesn't stand a chance. So Prophet playing here alongside Fitz beautifully, manages to go ahead and pick up both of those eliminations, and that's going to be a hard reset now for Fusion.
And Dynasty are able to pull away with this one in terms of the map percentage now as well. They're going to definitely be mid to high 60s for the end of this next fight. This is incredibly fast. MN3's got the EMP. Scouting out a few key targets. The supports are playing quite staggered away from each other. Makes it difficult to find them both. Might turn his attention over to Smurf potentially here. Hacked up.
They get the hack, but he still manages to leap away. With an extended fight, if they can keep Smurf alive, very well could be seeing that primal rage get built up. Belzria as well, not that far behind. EMP going to be invested, finds the back line. Midheim, the rally rolling, the Nano now invested. They keep him in the fight. Here it's going to be antied out. The damage is not quite being focused over towards Ziana, so he manages to stay alive. They clean up onto two. MN3 and Belzria both go down, and now MN3 is going to be swapping over the Widowmaker. They're trying to open things up. Rally rolling from Fixa. The anti clips onto the Brigade up. Will be able to stay alive through that, but Fusion now need to get ready to contest this point.
Belzria can definitely touch. He can pop the primal and use the cooldowns, but he wants to do it without there. 97% in climbing. Contest there. Overtime triggered. Pulse more available. Carpe has to use the recall early.
It doesn't get that stick, though. Belzria now primal. Comes in, gets hacked off the back end of it. Widely is going to be okay, but Prophet gets the better of Carpe, shuts him down with the help of Eris. MN3 just not being able to find too much here. A bit more of a one-sided affair thus far on Ruins as the OT will get ready to bleed down. Belzria unable to wake up from his nap fast enough to keep the contest going. So it's 100% to 34. It's back and forth at the beginning, but Dynasty, once they reestablished control, they did not let go of it.
It's really unfortunate that big turning point was the shutdown of Belzria. His nano boost over from Aim God to get him over the line, get the primal rage there. Slept while the back end of that nano boost, so made it even slower. Second it came out, hacked, anti-nade, so much focus given over to him. He didn't have an opportunity to get the primal rage online and extend the fight earlier on in the stage. By the time they were able to get some kind of coordinated offense together, the Seoul Dynasty were pushing on overtime. This could be the final round of the series. Seoul Dynasty going to roll out and aim for that first control, and they do not want to relinquish it at all.
Gates now opening up. Fusion needing to answer back. Dynasty have this at match point. One more round, potentially be able to take this one away from them. Let's see if Fusion can muster the energy. Get themselves over the finish line, keep this one going. We want to see Lighthouse. I know they do too. Intermission opening up as the point has unlocked. Prophet tracking around the back, spots MN3. Continues to trade a little bit of damage with him, just a smattering of it as Fitz is going to get shoved out, has to translocate away. Down low on HP, and so far still no one establishing control at this point.
Smurf hacked. Prophet down first. Fitz is about to follow.
MN3 getting the melee hit to go ahead and finish the job. Belzria just holding the corner alongside Fixa as best as humanly possible. Fitz again, translocates out. Fusion get the lockdown first and foremost. Belzria now pushing forward as they try to find any staggers they can possibly get. Midheim is going to be a casualty. Taken out by the bio nade. They look for a little bit more. Drop down on top of Eris. This would be a huge pick, but Carpe doesn't want to overstay his welcome, doesn't want to take the risk of potentially getting slept there, so does end up retreating, but MN3 continues to play forward, gets Prophet, but now gives his life up to Fitz.
one pick, a little bit of taxation. They can't play as aggressively as they were doing. Fall back to the point. See Smurf diving forward to try and claim that space.
The bubble here from Smurf absorbs the pulse bomb from Carpe. Not going to find any damage from that. Flip's getting ready to come through. Dynasty kind of sealed this one away. Bellisria antied out, has to leap away. Cannot continue to keep this one contested. Dynasty breathe a sigh of relief as they have a little window of opportunity. Eventually close out a fight now and maintain control at this point.
Ooh, EMP. MN3's spy check
though. And MN3 knows that if he stays there in that position, Providence likely to take his head off. Fitz in the meantime, also spy check, jumps back. MN3 will reroute, come around the left side of the point. Look for a setup here onto the supports. EMP first out, however. Fitz, Carpe taken down, but Bellisria finds Svenheim, playing off MN3's just as well. Pulse bomb out, there's a kill, fix it down. Now Eichenwalde, the last man standing. Under fire, completely surrounded. Prophet finds both of the supports in the end, and Bellisria with this primal is not going to be able to get too much done. Now he's deep into enemy territory. Will get taken down inevitably here as Prophet just uses him like an alt battery.
Point still going to be held. Carpe does get a bit of a tax on the Prophet. He can contest the point all he wants. They're not in control right now, so you're just stalling for nothing. Might want to try and
get that next pulse at the ready.
Yeah, keep giving yourself some ult charge.
Pretty damn close to it. It's going to be a rally for rally on opposite sides. Carpe goes in a little bit deep there. Pulse now has been built up. Sleep Dart not available quite yet from Eichenwalde, so cannot shut down this primal rage. Smurf leaps up onto the high ground, drops down, starts cleaving away at them. Nano now out from Eichenwalde, goes over to Bellisria and Svenheim, pushed forward as well and managed to find MN3. Fitz now with an opportunity to try to catch up and build towards that next EMP.
Prophet.
And with the kills coming through, I mean, right now it's looking disastrous for the Fusion. Bellisria again in the back lines alongside Carpe. They get Fitz once more. They find that punish, but they need to stay alive and they need to get back to this point soon.
Final fight territory, MN3 is going to have the EMP. Needs to be absolutely huge if Fusion want to retake this one. Someone's going to have to touch though. That's the first problem they deal with. MN3 decloaks to do it. They need him to be setting up for this EMP. They need someone else to hold down the fort for him. Pulse bomb for Prophet. He could end it all with a bang.
Could be massive. Sees that Carpe's low. There's the hack, but the pressure is there. The peel from Fitz. They keep him alive. The pulse bomb goes in. Eichenwalde taken down. Fixa. Anti-Prophet finds them both again. Drills Carpe in the face with the pulse pistols. And one after the other, they will all go down. 147% this time around. The Dynasty take the map 2-0 and take the series 3-2. They will win. The Fusion, they make it close. It's a great effort considering the circumstances surrounding them as they come into this matchup. The Dynasty, they can hold their head high and say, no, we will not be suffering a second loss.
You see, they just wanted to put on a show. They wanted 5 maps, Seth. They did it for us. They did it for the audience. They did it for the arena. Nothing to worry about, Dynasty fans. There definitely wasn't moments where it was really shaky. Definitely wasn't moments where you thought the Fusion were going to win. Not at all. Whew, it's getting hot under your shirt a little bit, pulling on those collars. They're going to go have their handshakes after the match. This is a nice change up for what usually happens when they all walk away from the player camps. Nice bit of camaraderie to be done. Oh, they are unfamiliar with this.
What is this fist bump thing that we are doing? These handshakes that we are having? Like I said, new exposures for a lot of these players, but of course Captain Carpe ready and out of his seat to go ahead and greet them. And some hugs even being exchanged as well. Incredibly well played overall by both of these teams. They did put on a hell of a show for us. Whether or not they truly believed in the auto swap for Profit, we may never know. It did not work out. Something tells me we will not be seeing it again, at least not during this season. Definitely needs to be workshopped a bit, but in the end, the Dynasty are able to walk away victorious in front of this live audience. And for the Fusion, I think it's a good overall moment for them. Granted, they probably wish that they had Zest in, but given that they were able to perform with Carpe stepping back into playing after such a long time being away, I think that they shouldn't take too much away from this loss. I think that they should feel pretty damn good about themselves because they definitely stepped up to the plate.
Yeah, big performance from them today. That's a good way to close out the week, to be honest. I was getting kind of worried that we were going to just exist in the realm of free Overwatch and free 1 Overwatch the entire weekend. Is the rest of the staff for the Seoul Dynasty coming onto the field?
I mean, Toby, with quite a many few fans himself, of course, needs to make an appearance.
Yes. A lot of excitement being shared by them. Shaking of the Seoul Dynasty. That's just a taste of what's to come for these players. I'm expecting Dynasty to maybe make it to Anaheim. Be on a slightly larger stage in front of a maybe not so friendly crowd.
I mean, yeah, in the round crowd potentially against him, depending on how many Dynasty fans can show up. But it's definitely going to be a much different look there. But hey, we got to see Stalker gaining some more stage experience in the end. We got a great 5-map set between these two squads. Dynasty at the end of it all can feel good about themselves for, again, not dropping a second series here in the Countdown Cup qualifiers. They managed to close things out with a bang.
And that's pretty much the end of the week now, Seth, isn't it?
Woo. It is. It's been not quite as long of a week as we anticipated.
No.
Just, given the events of yesterday and whatnot, though I'd prefer to forget everything that happened yesterday for the most part. I need to have one of those procedures from Eternal Sunshine where I just get those memories removed.
Unfortunately, there's this great thing that kind of archives all of the matches. It's called YouTube, so I don't think we're going to get rid of that. People will be able to
But
go
if I
back
never
and
watch it
experience
again,
that
I
once
won't
again.
remember it.
It's fine. I'm going to clockwork orange you into watching it again at some point. After you forget. Just sit there with the eye dividers.
Just pry my eyeballs open, I suppose.
Yeah,
well,
pretty much.
I mean, if you're really that dedicated to having me remember those matches, then I guess I just won't forget them to begin with. And honestly, how could I? Because it was quite historical in its own right, I suppose. But so was this. Being able to have a LAN once more in Korea is wonderful to see. I could only wish that I was there live. If I wasn't casting this, I damn sure would have made the trip down to be able to be in attendance. But this is the next best thing. It's quite all right. I'm happy to be here alongside all of our lovely viewers. But let's go straight into our player of the match. It is going to be Prophet who takes this one away. And yes, for all the Carpe stands out there, if the Fusion were able to clinch the series, he would have been the winner as well. But it has always been a fairly eternal battle between he and Prophet when it comes down to their tenure in the Overwatch League. The two guys who are leading the charge as far as just total kill count and eliminations goes. But today, Prophet, the GOAT, he has the upper hand.
I love that. I was wondering what they were going to do because we completely skipped Route 66.
Yeah, just bypass it. Didn't happen.
We went straight from Kings Road to Queen Street. Route 6 didn't happen.
This was a 3-1 victory for the Dynasty.
Yeah, exactly.
But some wonderful moments. Here. The Route 66 notwithstanding, there was some great moments here from Prophet, who, especially on this last map of Ilios, was really able to just by the horns and really shut down the Fusion that every twist and turn. It was beautifully piloted by Prophet, who continues to still look absolutely incredible.
Yeah, and we're not even in the playoffs yet, Seth. Playoff Prophets is supposed to be a different breed. Does not bode well for the opponents they'll meet as they've already secured their position. And that's it, really.
Yeah.
I mean, look.
We've said that before going into midseason madness, and unfortunately Dynasty weren't really able to get too much done there, but hopefully it's going to be a bit of a different beast as they go over to NA and play in the playoffs. So you can expect that they're going to have a little bit of a little bit of leeway, go over early, get ready, get adjusted to the time zone and whatnot. Something tells me the Dynasty probably won't be complaining about having to take a long flight. I don't know. Some people do that for some reason. But I think that they'll be pretty keen to be there and play on a massive stage in front of a massive, roaring audience. And hopefully that energy is just going to fuel them, whether it's negative energy being thrown at them by people who want them to lose, or positive energy by the Dynasty fans who are going to be there live in the studio. Either way, that's going to do it for us here this weekend. Trid, thank you so much for joining me throughout this cast while we had Avril absent. It's been an absolute pleasure to work with you,
Work
for
for
the
me?
first time.
Interesting. Okay.
I'm working for you, apparently, but I hope I get 401k and some benefits. But it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you guys so much for tuning in this weekend. Again, apologies for any technical difficulties that we did have. This can be the nature of running an online broadcast. We hope that you still enjoyed this last series. We hope that you had enjoyed this entire weekend and had some fun alongside with us, because myself and Trid, we had a whale of a time. That does it for us, though, this week. We'll see you guys next time. Tune into NA later this evening if you want to, which you should.